Are we live? Hold up, wait a second. Is it Saturday night already? Is it Saturday night live, ladies and gentlemen? Wait, rebooting? Wait, what? Rebooting Star Wars? What, is that right? Are we reboot? What? Wait. That can't be right. Who titled this video? Wait. What is this? Is this what we're reporting on tonight? Wait, is this real? Is this real? What's up, guys? It's Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars. It's real. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know when, I don't know who, but it is real, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to break it all down tonight. A reboot of Star Wars. It sounds like the stupidest idea to ever be conceived, and guess what? It probably is, but we're going to talk all about it tonight live, and we're going to break it all down. What's being said, who's saying it, why are they saying it, what the hell's going on? A reboot of Star Wars? We'll talk about all of it. We'll break it all down. But how we doing on this fine Saturday evening? How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? How are the fine people who love Star Wars doing on this fine Saturday evening? Let me open up the chat so I can see how you guys are doing. Let me start up a poll right off the bat tonight saying, do you want a reboot? Yes or no? We're going to keep it nice and simple and easy for you guys tonight. How are we doing? How are we doing? Cat's Paw, what's up? Cat's Paws. Austin, how we doing? How we doing? Doing great. Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Let me pull this up real quick. Okay, we got it. What's up, Darth Revan? How we doing? All right. So should there be a reboot? Let's see. Let's see what you guys say. Right off the bat, 100% of you are saying no, which is where we should be. Jay, what's up, Jay? I'm doing good. I definitely can't complain. I'm excited for this live stream. I'm very excited to talk about this with you guys tonight. We briefly touched upon it on Thursday's live stream, but we got a lot more to dive into tonight, as there's like 1,000 articles that dive into this, because it's quite insane to see the Star Wars fandom, actually some people getting behind this, wanting to see this, actually see a reboot happen to Star Wars. It's insane. So let's just go over what this is even talking about. Actually, before we even start with any of that, there's something way more important going on here that has to be said before we even dive into any of this. Before we dive into any of this, something needs to be said, and you guys need to spam it in the chat immediately. It is Carrie Fisher's birthday. Okay, Carrie Fisher sadly passed away in 2016, I believe, but it is today would be her birthday, and we need to spam some happy birthdays to Carrie Fisher in the chat, please. Princess Leia herself, it was her birthday today, so can we please just give her a nice warm happy birthday. The loving princess herself, it is her birthday today. What's up, Revan? What's up, Jay? How we doing? Anthony, what's up? Anthony says, I'd be rather surprised if this has any truth to it. If true, question, why is a reboot even in the air? Yet a retcon for the sequel trilogy doesn't exist. It's a non-starter. Interesting. Well, let me put it this way. A reboot of the original trilogy sounds ridiculous, right? I think we would all agree on that. But a reboot of the sequel trilogy doesn't sound that crazy to you guys. I'm sure it wouldn't. I'm sure you would. I'm guessing it wouldn't. Most of you would probably love a reboot of the sequel trilogy if I were to guess. So I see kind of the argument. But it's stupid and it's dumb and it's dumb and it's stupid and it's stupid and it's dumb. But we'll go over it. Thanks for the happy birthdays for Carrie Fisher. Darth Revan says, also, all this reboot talk reminded me. Have you ever heard the rumors that were around when episode 9 was released? And what did you think of them? Hear the rumors that were around? What rumors? Rumors about what, Darth Revan? Rumors about what? There's plenty of rumors. Oh, the JJ cut? Oh, like a cut for the episode 9? I have heard a little bit about that. But think about The Rise of Skywalker. Do we want a director's cut for that movie? Like, that movie's already just like going crazy. It's like, whoa! When you watch Rise of Skywalker, you feel like you're bouncing off the walls. It's all over the place, and it's a story just being told so quickly. Release the JJ cut? I don't even know. I'd love to see it. Maybe it's better than the original, the movie we got. Maybe it is. But you'll never see that cut. You will never see that cut. Here's the thing. You got to see, like, the Zack Snyder cut from Justice League. You will never see the J.J. Abrams cut of Rise of Skywalker. That, like, Warner Brothers releasing that, they immediately regretted it. But Disney will never admit their mistakes and see anything wrong with episode 9, so that will never happen. Austin, Duel of the Fates is something else. So Duel of the Fates was supposed to be Colin Trevorrow's version of episode 9. Now, a lot of stuff has leaked out about Colin Trevorrow and his version of episode 9. He was supposed to do episode 9. It was supposed to be JJ does episode 7, Ryan did episode 8, and then Colin Trevorrow does episode 9. And Colin's version, a lot of people seem to like. Have you guys heard of Colin Trevorrow's version of episode 9? Give me a 1 into the chat if you've seen his version of episode 9, because if you don't know what we're talking about, we can pull this up, I'm sure. I'm sure I can find it pretty quickly. Colin Trevorrow, episode 9, Star Wars. I'm sure we can find this pretty quickly. Wait, that's not how you spell Trevorrow. Trevorrow. I don't even know. Sure, that sounds good to me. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, you can find the full script. Okay. There's an article about maybe it's good that that didn't happen. Interesting. Oh, people are talking about how it's actually bad, but whatever. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Oh, we got a bunch of ones. Okay, so, yeah. So Colin Trevorrow's script, it kind of had no Palpatine. It had Kylo Ren become the new bad guy, kind of. And it had Coruscant all run down and a giant battle on Coruscant. General Hux is actually badass, kills himself. Rey gets a double-bladed lightsaber. Force Ghost Luke is tormenting Kylo Ren the entire time. It sounded good. But honestly, I don't know if it would have been better than what we got, honestly. Yeah. Tyler Evan says, I wouldn't mind it, I think, if it was at least better than what we got. You're talking about JJ's cut? I wouldn't mind seeing it, for sure. I wouldn't mind seeing it at all, but I don't know if it'll be better. Cat's Paw says, all the stuff that was cut would have made the movie make some sense as a story, I think. Maybe. There's a lot of plot holes in episode 9, for sure. But I don't know if it would make it that much better, you know? Although it wasn't perfect, I think Colin's movie would probably have been the best of the sequel trilogy and one of the better Disney Star Wars movies, at least from what I remember. It did sound very cool from what I heard, and maybe it was able to wrap up the entire saga, or not the saga, but at least the sequel trilogy itself, which would have been cool. I just don't think it would have really tied up most of the questions of, like, where did Snoke come from? Why was he just a one-off thing? And all those other things. I think they wanted to go with something big, and Palpatine was that something big. And Colin Trevorrow's movie was more of a not really a safe bet, but it was more of a, not a big, grand ending to the entire saga that is Star Wars. And that's what they wanted. They wanted Palpatine to come back in the end of the saga, and they wanted to market it that way, you know? Anthony says, Mike, just like we'll never see the original cut of Rogue One, which is 40 minutes of additional footage with Darth Vader's original entrance at the beginning and characterization. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever see that cut either. Rogue One was kind of a mess in production, and luckily it came out really, really good. So that's a whole nother thing. But yeah. Friggins, what's up, Friggins? All right, let's dive into this whole... Let's dive into this whole... do you want to reboot? Because apparently 20% of you do want to reboot. But let's dive into this article right hither. Cat's Paw says, I would have liked to see the version of Rogue One, actually. I would have liked to see it too, but I don't think it would have been better than the Rogue One that we remember, you know? Seems like that Rogue One kind of came together pretty well. Yeah. All right, this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. This article right here is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. There's a million articles out there talking about this reboot. So we're going to read this one and maybe another one, but this one to start. So this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. And it says, Matthew Vaughn would want to remake an original Star Wars movies with a new cast. Let's bring it on. So, why are the characters so hollow from that 1977 that you can't redo it for a new audience? Here we go. X-Men First Class director Matthew Vaughn. By the way, I looked up this guy a little bit, did my research, you know. He's not that big of a guy. He's not that guy. He's just not that guy. He's not. He did for X-Men First Class, that was probably his biggest movie. That's why it's highlighted here in the article. And the other stuff he did is not that big. It's Kingsman movies, and that's pretty much it. he has some ideas for another popular franchise. The filmmaker would be interested in rebooting the original Star Wars films with a fresh set of actors playing Luke Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Darth Vader, who of course are played by Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and voiced by James Earl Jones. Guys, this is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life, but we're going to keep reading because I got to know what you guys think about this. Let me take a long sip of my water. Let's just let this sink in, Let's just let this linger there for a second. The long sip of let me take a long sip of water. Tasty. All right, let's read what he had to say. For me, doing a Star Wars movie is to play with the characters that I loved. Well, guess what? People love those characters too and don't want to see them go away. Stupid. He said, I apologize. He said on a recent episode of the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, this guy clearly must be happy, sad, and confused because for some reason he thinks Star Wars should be rebooted. Sorry. I said I would remain calm. I got this, guys. I got this. You know me. I remain calm. Almost the entire stream, I've always remained calm. He continues. If they said to me, do you want to reboot Star Wars and actually have Luke Skywalker, Solo, and Vader and do your own version of it, everyone would say you're an idiot to try. Yeah, because you're stupid. Sorry. But that would excite me. Why are the characters so hollowed after the 1977 that you can't redo it for a new audience? Guess what, buddy? There's new audiences watching Star Wars every... Okay, let's keep reading. He explained that the Star Wars is the Skywalker family. That's not true. There's many of you in the chat that I'm sure, with a name like Darth Revan, probably your favorite character is Darth Revan. And guess what? He has zero relation to the Skywalker family. Okay. And he feels like Lucasfilm and Disney have sort of strayed from the original group of people, and that's where he thinks they've gone wrong. Do we think they've gone wrong? Have they gone wrong? Do you think they've gone wrong? Let's keep reading. He shared that to him, the TV shows are still good, but the franchise is missing an epic new film. I agree with that. I think Star Wars should be on the big screen. For sure. I think we're missing out on good movies. Yes. That I can agree with. Matthew. He follows up and says, that's what I would do. Everyone is going to go batshit crazy. Yeah, you think? But let's bring it on. If you want a new generation, make the movies for them. The old generation, hopefully, you can make it well enough that they say, okay, I'm enjoying it. Guess what, buddy? You have the old generation who grew up on the original trilogy. You have a newer generation that grew up on the prequel trilogy. You have a even newer generation that are growing up on the Clone Wars, the sequels, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, Andor, all this stuff. And you can go back and watch the old stuff. Make new content for new generations. You don't have to go back and recreate something that's already perfection. But let's keep reading. But Matthew Vaughn likely won't be getting any opportunity anytime soon to remake the original films, as Kathleen Kennedy told Vanity Fair last year that Lucasfilm is focused on expanding George Lucas's universe beyond the Skywalker saga and is not planning to tell new stories with new actors playing these iconic characters. Her comments came after a negative reception of Solo, a Star Wars story. So this is Kathleen Kennedy, we're going to get into this right here, talking about what happened with Solo. Solo lost a lot of money. Harrison Ford, of course, wasn't playing Han Solo. It was a whole thing. Yeah, you know the Solo movie, the recast of all the iconic characters. Now, a lot of people do kind of enjoy the Solo movie. I personally really like the Solo movie. It doesn't take me too far out of it that Harrison Ford's not Han. That not D. Bradley Baker. What the hell's his name? What the frick's his name? Who plays Lando? Why can't I think of his name? What the frack? D. Bradley Baker's the guy who voices the clones, am I right? What the frack? Whatever. He's not the voice of Lando. It's Childish Gambino. It's what the hell's his real name? Jesus Christ, I'm so bad with names. Donald Glover. Donald Glover. Yes, Donald Glover. Thank you. Yes. But yeah, so that's why the Solo movie wasn't watched by many. That is, to Kathleen Kennedy, we should never recast another OG character ever again. And that's why I believe Team Deepfake all the way, because there's no way they're recasting Luke, Leia, or Han after what happened with the Solo movie. But let's keep reading. So this is what Kathleen says. We also can't go do something with Luke Skywalker that isn't Mark Hamill, she said in the interview. We are not going to suddenly go and try to do that. Meaning there's no recast coming anytime soon, ladies and gentlemen, but let's keep going. Up next for Matthew Vaughn, however, isn't a Star Wars film. It's an ensemble epic, starring Dua Lipa. What the? Henry Cavill, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rock. Wait, what? Holy shit, what is this? It's starring Dua Lipa, which she should not be first on this list. This list is absolutely loaded, and you started with the pop singer. Henry Cavill, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, John Cena, Ariana DeBrosa, and Samuel L. Jackson. What is this movie? That is like the the most loaded cast I've ever seen in my life. What the frack? Stick to that movie. Don't come near Star Wars. Jesus Christ. Okay. The thriller follows Cavill, who's playing, I guess, the main character, is a fictional spy, super spy, created by writer Ellie Conway, whose life is turned upside down when her new book hits a little too close to real life, and actual spies begin to hunt her down. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. But that's, I guess, the end of the article. Okay. So let's go back to the Star Wars of it all. Let's go back to everything Star Wars of it all. Are we good on this end? Why are we losing so many viewers? What the fuck's going on? Why is everybody leaving? Weird. Okay. I just thought we were frozen or something. Okay. Let's get back to the Star Wars of it all. A reboot. Is it a good idea? Yes or no, and why? Let's hear it, guys. Let's hear it. Where was I? Friggin says, I read the Duel of the Fates script, and it was way better than The Rise of Skywalker. Interesting. However, it was written before Carrie Fisher's death, and a lot of it was involving Leia. Honestly, should have recasted Meryl Streep as Leia. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think they were definitely looking for a recast for Leia, that's for sure, but we'll see. No reboot, or reboot the sequels. There you go. That's an idea. Anthony says there's a scene from the 2016 Star Wars Celebration sizzle reel with some extras have mentioned scenes that appear in and sound like even more of a war movie. JJ's cut, it sounds more like a war movie. You can't replace Princess Leia. I don't think you can replace any of them. I don't think you can replace any of them. That's my take. You definitely can't replace any of them. Rebooting Star Wars is a dumb idea, and it gives me a headache. Honestly, Revan, it gives me a headache too. It does. It's like, why? Just like the stupidest idea ever. And not only that, like this guy Matthew Vaughn is trying to talk about this new movie that he's creating that has this freaking loaded cast apparently. He's trying to hype that movie up by making all Star Wars fans angry at him. Smart. He's like the new Rian Johnson almost. Darth Evan says the timeline is big enough to make original content with no connection to the rest of the stuff. Oh, 100%. Literally, one of the movies that was announced earlier this year was a Dawn of the Jedi movie, which will involve no characters we've ever seen before, which will be the beginning of the Jedi and the Force itself. Like, that has zero relation to the Skywalkers. Yeah. If there wasn't piles and piles of lore and games and shows for this universe, it could have worked. But where we are right now, there's no way that a reboot works. There is literally no way, because then you'd have to reboot the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, the sequel trilogy, and everything else. Everything they're working on right now, from The Acolyte to Skeleton Crew to Mando Season 4 to all these movies they just announced, would be thrown out the window because none of it would matter. And it would be a disaster. Disaster. It would be like, look at DC right now. Like, that's how big of a disaster it would be. KK doing something right. Oh my God. You got to give her credit where credit is due. Yeah. I think they'll cancel Dave Filoni's trilogy, aka the best trilogy. It remains to be seen if Kathleen Kennedy leaves, because if Kathleen Kennedy is gone and there's new leadership, it seems like they're going to clean house and kind of just do their own new thing. But what's interesting to me is, like, why would you want to clean house, or sorry, at least get rid of Kathleen Kennedy and then schedule a bunch of new movies when the ones that you just announced, other than the Rey movie, so of course you got the Dawn of the Jedi movie and Dave Filoni's movie, people are extremely excited for those movies. So why would you just go and get rid of them? That makes no sense, especially coming off the back of Ahsoka. Coming off the back of Ahsoka especially. Yeah. I liked Solo, but the release was a bad timing. Yeah, because it came right after The Last Jedi. It really took a lot of crap from The Last Jedi and had to kind of just deal with it. But yeah, Friggin says Lucasfilm has no idea what fans want. How the hell have we gotten zero Old Republic content? That's a good question, Friggins. And let me put it this way: I saw something funny today that showed what Star Wars fans think they want, which was the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And then what we didn't want, which is the Mandalorian and Andor. And the Mandalorian and Andor are good. The Kenobi show was a disaster. Like, it has a great finale. It has its moments, but it was a disaster. When the Mandalorian we didn't ask for, the Andor show we didn't ask for, the Ahsoka show we didn't ask for, and yet we got it, and it's good. So there's kind of a line where it's like, what do the fans want / what would actually be good? And The Mandalorian is the perfect example of that. Like, no fan was asking for that. No fan was asking for a new character with a baby version of Yoda that was going around being a bounty hunter. Like, nobody wanted that. Nobody was asking for that. And it was an enormous hit. And it was a brand new idea. But you have to ride the line. You have to ride the line. Because if we go back to the Old Republic, you're going to make billions of dollars. Billions. Probably trillions of dollars if you go back to the Old Republic. But there is a line. There's a line, for sure. Yeah, remember the Mandalorian Season 2 finale? I do. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Henry Cavill. You think we can get Henry Cavill to Star Wars? Would you want to see Henry Cavill in Star Wars? Apparently, it's a spy thriller movie. Apparently, Jay. It kind of sounds pretty cool, though. Tony, what's up? Tony says, they tried that with The Force Awakens. Oh, you mean like a reboot? It kind of was almost like a reboot. Yeah, you're not wrong. But they rebooted it with the same characters because Luke, Leia, and Han are all in that movie. No reboot. Admiral Holdo. Yeah, true. Kathleen Kennedy needs to go ASAP. I don't even know anymore, guys. I literally don't know. I don't know if Kathleen Kennedy is ever going to go at this point. I go back and forth. I literally stay up at night. I don't sleep at all. Ever since Kathleen Kennedy was hired 11 years ago, I have yet to sleep. I've remained in this chair, trying to figure out a way to get her gone. Salty Texas Ranger, what's up, Salty, says, when are we going to get Kathleen Kennedy action figures? Oh, you want to do a giveaway for Kathleen Kennedy action figures? I'm down for that. That sounds incredible. Honey Badger, what's up? Honey Badger says, no, please God, no reboot. And hello there. What's up? How we doing? Tony says, I opt for getting into early Jedi and Sith stories. Way before the High Republic. The High Republic is a weird thing. I like the High Republic story, and I know there's a few people in the chat right now that really like the High Republic story. But I agree. I think going back to the beginning with the Dawn of the Jedi or even the Old Republic is a better move. It's a way better move. Star Wars, and people who argue this are Star Wars is a whole entire galaxy, but what it is kind of the backbone of the entire franchise is the Force, in the mythos of the Force, and lightsabers and Jedi and Sith and all that stuff. And where is there hundreds of Jedi versus hundreds of Sith and all the Force being developed and sort of discovered is the Dawn of the Jedi and the Old Republic. If you want to make money, if you want to give Star Wars fans what Star Wars really is, then give us what we want. It's not rocket science. Yeah. Friggin says Kenobi wasn't bad because the fans asked for it. It was bad because it was written by an idiot who'd never seen Star Wars. Yes. It wasn't bad because fans asked for it, obviously. And fans asked for a lot of things. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad because fans asked for it. But what I'm more saying is fans didn't ask for The Mandalorian and it was really good, you know? Yeah, no? I would probably turn KK's doll into a voodoo doll, though. Oh, geez, here we go. Honey Badger says, I'm doing great. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm excited for this stream. I am really excited for this stream. We're, oh my God, already 27 minutes in. What the hell? Jeez. 10 days ago, Kathleen Kennedy, you're fired. I wish she was fired like at the beginning of the summer, because now she's going to take Ahsoka as her own win, which I don't care. Like, just take it as your win and leave at this point. But yeah, there's still no news. Still no news. Yeah. Disney giving what fans want. Yeah, it won't happen. By the way, this poll is kind of concerning me a little bit here. 33% of you actually do want a reboot. Is this the truth? To 66% of you, or 67, sorry, that don't. Interesting. All right, let's read another article about this same freaking topic because it's a little bit ridiculous and we need a whole nother opinion here, let's say. Wait, what? We'll read that next because that sounds incredible. But we'll read that next. All right, let's read from so many different articles on this same exact freaking topic. But let's read from... Let's do the IndieWire. Why not? Let's just do the IndieWire. Let's do it. I like the picture of Poe Dameron looking all sexy, right? You know? All right, let's zoom in a little bit here. Matthew Vaughn thinks Star Wars should be only about the Skywalkers, with characters recast. All right, let's read it. So he's going to be saying a lot of the same stuff here, but let's see if we get any new bits going. Matthew Vaughn is weighing in on his direction for Star Wars film franchise. The X-Men First Class director said during his Happy, Sad, Confused, because he's Happy, Sad, and Confused podcast that he would only be interested in helming a Star Wars film if he could recast the original core characters of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Darth Vader. Clearly, this guy's a sexist. Just kidding. But he left out, of course, Leia Organa. And Chewie and Lando and the rest of them. C-3PO. Best not recast C-3PO. My boy Anthony Daniels did nothing wrong. Let's keep reading. For me, doing a Star Wars movie... All right, we already read this. So... Okay. Vaughn added that Lucasfilm and Walt Disney Company have strayed from the signature storyline of Star Wars about the Skywalker family. According to Vaughn, the Disney Plus series have done far better jobs propelling the franchise forward than the films did. Interesting, because the films that I remember, the sequel trilogy, kind of focused very heavily on the Skywalker family. But that was just from what I remember. The Star Wars is the Skywalker family, and that's where I think they've gone wrong. They forgot. They've done a brilliant job on TV, but they need an epic new film. Vaughn spoke to the need of the franchise content overall, saying the studio, it's like an artist's form. Okay, this is some new stuff here. The music business, movies, fashion, the financing, and the commerce has taken over the creative. This is very true. When it comes to Disney Star Wars, especially, the financing and all this like business side of Hollywood has taken over the creative side. But going back and rebooting the entire original trilogy is not the answer to that, buddy. It's just not. Having a creative side of Star Wars coming back is The Mandalorian. is Dave Filoni working on Ahsoka. His passion projects like that. And that's honestly why I'm excited for Skeleton Crew and Acolyte. But let's keep going. That always means eventually the short-term gains will do well, but the long terms will kill everything. He's talking about short-term, like the sequel trilogy made a lot of money, but now long-term, people don't like the sequel trilogy, and it's hurting the brand more than it helps. You know, that's what is happening now. Film, music, art, you know, the whole thing. Commerce took over, and now the pendulum is starting to swing back. Creativity should always be the driving force for any decision, and then you think about how to make money out of it moving forward. If you try to make money up front, you will kill some great franchises. Okay, now I'm swinging back and forth on this boy, Matthew Vaughn. This is a good point here. The Hollywood industry, and Disney itself especially, has become way more focused on making money than actually creating good content that people want to see. So the sequel trilogy is a perfect example of that. But even if you look over at Marvel, all these crappy shows that they've been releasing lately with Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk and Secret Invasion even, and either other shows like that. And even movies on that side too, with Ant-Man, which I liked more than most, but a lot of people didn't like that movie. Eternals and stuff like that. They're just trying to make a quick buck instead of actually creating something that will make money in the long run, but it's more of a creative vision. Like Star Wars, when it first came out, they didn't think they were going to make any money off that. Look at it now. It's the biggest freaking IP in the world, pretty much, but you know what I'm saying. Money is killing some great franchises, and it looks like Star Wars is teetering on the edge, and I think that's kind of more what he's talking about, you know? Let's zoom in a little bit more here. I just noticed how small it is on your screen. That's better. Now we'll just move it over like that. Boom. Okay. Now, let's see. This goes into Taika Waititi, so let's talk about this. Meanwhile, Taika Waititi, who is set to direct an upcoming Star Wars film, I believe this is canceled behind the scenes. We don't know for sure, but we think it's canceled. We think it's pretty much canceled, you know? He revealed that his installment will step away from the pre-existing characters. This is what Taika said, I believe. Yes. Look, I think for the Star Wars universe to expand, it has to expand. Taika told a Total Film about his yet-to-be-titled movie. I don't think that I'm any use to the Star Wars universe making a film where everyone's like, oh, great. Well, that's the blueprint of the Millennium Falcon, and oh, that's Chewbacca's grandmother. What he's pretty much saying is he doesn't want there to just be like everybody focused on trying to connect everything to the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy or the sequel trilogy. He wants to go somewhere else, whether that's in the future or the past, that has no connection to anybody, that has no connection to anything, and is his own story. Now, I don't know if Taika's movie is still happening. It still kind of remains to be seen with his movie specifically, but a lot of films seem to be going that way. You have the Rey movie, which, think about that. Luke's not going to be in it. Leia's not going to be in it. No Skywalkers are really going to be in it unless you count Rey as a Skywalker, which I don't. But there's probably going to be no Skywalkers in that, and it's going to move the story forward and hopefully bring us to the future of Star Wars and just keep going. Just forget about the sequels. Just forget about all of it and keep on moving on. But even the other projects that were announced, Dave Filoni's movie is kind of its own thing. It's finishing off the story that he's telling. But Dawn of the Jedi is going back to the beginning, 25,000 years before the prequel trilogy. So we might be going that route where expanding the universe is actually expanding the universe. Now, I've heard a theory that Taika Waititi's movie, that he says is supposed to go back, so it's not connected to anything, so you're not like, oh, it's Millennium Falcon's blueprints or Chewbacca's grandmother. A lot of people think that they just kind of told Taika to just fuck off and kind of went and got, what the hell's his name? Who's doing the Dawn of the Jedi movie? The guy who did Indiana Jones 5? What the frick's his name? I'm so bad with names, guys. What's his name? Somebody help me out in the chat. What the hell's his name? Somebody, please. Please! Something to do with something else. You guys know what I'm talking about. Mangold. Thank you, friggins. Yes, James Mangold. He's going to be directing the Dawn of the Jedi movie, but a lot of people think that they just replaced Taika with John Mangold, which would actually kind of be crazy. But Taika continues and says, that all stands alone. That's great, though. I would like to take something new and create some new characters and just expand the world. Otherwise, it feels like a very small story. So that's Taika's take on it, and I'm actually glad we read this article because it does mean a lot more, okay? And the finance aspect of this article was very spot on, especially that Matthew himself was saying that that kind of the Hollywood industry has become more of a trying to make a quick buck rather than making an epic franchise that people love. And that's a good point. That is a good point, for sure. Yeah. Let's see where we were at. Honey Badger, did you change your profile picture again? Salted Texas Ranger says, I'm talking about the automatically correct, anatomically correct KK action figure. A doll with the head shoved so far up its own ass that it can see the daylight. I'm just picturing that in my head, and it's fantastic. Sorry. Cat's Paw says, interesting to know what the average age of the reboot percent is. I could not tell you, but 31% do want that reboot, which is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Austin says, I don't care how much it takes. I just want good content. I agree with that. I mean, yeah, sure. Joe Shakes, what's up, Joe? He says, you should stream Spider-Man 2. I did have a gaming channel at one point. It technically still exists, but I have not been gaming on it a lot. I actually don't even have a PlayStation, so I would not be able to do that. But I do want to stream some games and do stuff with that, like that. I do, Joe, but I definitely would not be able to do that. I'm glad that you would watch me do that, though. That would be fantastic. Chris Reed, what's up? Chris says, I wouldn't mind an original trilogy reboot. Interesting, Chris. You don't have like a really strong connection to those characters? Like that you wouldn't be kind of upset about that? Yeah, no? 31% of the chat is drunk. Yeah. Maybe. Jay says, that's why they made Spaceballs instead of a reboot. Yeah, that was kind of a spoof on it for sure. Salty Texas Ranger says, I have a greater chance of filming a Star Wars movie and getting it into theaters than Lucasfilm does at this point. Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, the next Star Wars movie is supposed to be in 2026, which is still 2 years from now. And who knows if that won't be delayed because of the actors' strike and writer's strike. There is a little bit of news on the actors' strike, ladies and gentlemen. I know you guys like to be up to date on all this fun stuff. But the actors' strike is, the negotiations are back on the 24th. So in 3 days, the actors' strike, the actors' SAG-AFTRA strike, and the Hollywood studios go back to negotiations. And that didn't go too well last time, but I think there will be a different outcome this time. And finally, stuff can get back in the works. The writers are off strike. They have been for weeks now. So stuff's being written, but there's no actors to kind of play the roles, you know? Hopefully KK will retire and we get someone worse. I hope not. Anthony says, for the Star Wars universe to expand, it has to expand. Hence, Dave Filoni's choice to venture to an entirely different galaxy with Peridia, a Force Nexus planet, being the first introduction. Yeah. I mean, talk about expansion. How about a whole new galaxy? You know? You're not wrong, Anthony. You're not wrong. Taika had some good stuff in Mando, but after what he did in the last Thor movie, I want him to stay far away from a Star Wars movie. It's not, I mean, I get what you're saying, Cat's Paw, but Taika did do Thor Ragnarok, and Thor Ragnarok is incredible. He also did, again, like you said, multiple episodes of The Mandalorian, and those episodes are really, really good. Now, he is a jokester, and we saw what happened when a jokester took over a last Star Wars project, cough, cough, The Last Jedi, when we got your mom jokes left and right. But I feel like if some sort of producers are involved with like Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau or whoever, I think as long as Taika's not the last word, doesn't have the last word, I should say, then I think we'll be okay. I think we'd be okay. I am interested in where Dave is taking us with this new galaxy. I am too. I definitely am too. I am too. Oh, Badger, it changed back. No, you're good. For some reason, it was different before, but it changed back. You're good. You're good. Darth Evan says, I'm back. So what are we talking about? We're talking about the same exact thing. This goddamn reboot. This stupid ass motherfucking Matthew Vaughn. Anthony says, It seems like it's a galaxy, talking about Peridea, where the rules are different. Peridea seems like a spiritual battleground for all of the Force. Zepho, Dothamiri, Mortis gods. So far, it's fascinating. That's true. New pitch. R5D4, a Star Wars story. That's a great pitch. I would watch that. I would watch that for sure. I'd definitely watch that. Friggin says, I worry Star Wars will lose Favreau. I hope he sticks around. I don't think Favreau's going anywhere as long as Filoni keeps him around. He was an executive producer on Ahsoka. He's helping Dave with his movie. He's staying around for Mando Season 4. I think as long as Kathleen is gone, and I know we keep talking about it, but as long as she goes sometime soon, I think John will stay around for a long, long time. I do. I hope so. I definitely hope so. We'll see. We shall see. We got anything else going on in the world of Star Wars that we can talk about? Why is Reylo trending? Why is Reylo trending? Okay, guys, let's talk about this. I don't know why Reylo is trending, but that's weird. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. What's up, Grievous? How we doing? Yeah, but we still need an explanation about what the hell happened in Mando Season 3, Salty says. What do you mean, what happened in Mando Season 3? Here's my pitch. Rogue 2. Oh, God. Bantha Bloodbath? No, thanks. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit here. Cat's Paw brought up this great theory. I'm working on the video right now. It's going to probably post tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is when I'll try to get that out. If not, maybe 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I will let you guys know. But this video will be about Anakin Skywalker saving Ben Solo. Now, Ben Solo is, of course, a lot of... Yeah, it's Bantha. It's okay. It's okay. Ben Solo is a lot of people's favorite character when it comes to the sequel trilogy. Give me a 1 into the chat if that's your favorite character in the sequels. And if not, tell me who your favorite character is from the sequels. But Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, whatever you want to call him, he is most people's favorite character, right? Right? Yeah. See? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, exactly. Most of your favorite characters. And he dies at the end of Rise of Skywalker. Stupid death. Very dumb. Very stupid and dumb death. Dumb, stupid, dumb. But what's interesting is his body disappears. His clothes stay there. Implying that he turns into a Force ghost, by the way, because that's what happens with everybody else. But he's not a Force ghost at the end of the movie. Now his body just disappears, he disappears, and he's gone. And it doesn't really make much sense until you see the Ahsoka show. The Ahsoka show, you see Ahsoka, she disappears. She's not there. Her body's not there. That's why when Hera and Carson Teva and the other X-Wings go over and look for her, she's not there and they can't find her until she comes back and her body's back and then they can see her. But she's not there. She's physically not there. Pulled out of time. Then she has one more lesson with Anakin. She goes through this whole flashback thing with Clone Wars flashbacks, that stuff like that. And then she comes back. She comes back to life. And her body physically comes back. And that's when Hera's able to find her. And Jason's able to find her too. So, with that being said, do you think that Anakin Skywalker saved Ben Solo? Now, Ben Solo dies. He gives his essence, whatever you want to call it, to Rey. But he doing so dies. But Ahsoka also died. But what if Anakin gives him the same lesson? To live or to die, to fight for her life. And this would be pretty poetic as well, because in the one of the first scenes you see Kylo Ren, he's pleading to a burnt mask of Darth Vader, of his grandfather. And he says, please, grandfather, show me my way, and whatever he says. Well, I don't even know. He asks for help from his grandfather. What if that line of him asking for his help from his grandfather, and then the final scene with Kylo, the first scene with Kylo is him asking for help from his grandfather, and the final scene is him being pulled out and saved by said grandfather. What do we think? Is this a terrible theory? Are you guys so sick and tired of the sequels? Or Is this what we might just need? And is this on purpose? Is Dave Filoni actually setting up a return of Ben Solo? It just all seems a little bit too close. It seems like it feels like Dave Filoni was setting this up on purpose. Like Anakin Skywalker's able to save Ahsoka Tano, meaning he was also able to save Ben Solo. Being able to save the ones that he loves. That's what Palpatine was trying to kind of do the entire time. Chris Reed, thanks for becoming a subscriber, by the way. Thanks for becoming a subscriber. It seems like that's why Palpatine literally promises him that if he turns to the dark side, he'll be able to save the ones that he loves. Little did we know that Palpatine was right. Now, it just took Anakin himself to die first, but he is able to save the ones that he loves with Ahsoka first. Now, he's not able to save Leia or Luke for some reason. Maybe that's because they sacrificed themselves. But so does Ben, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. And do you guys think it's possible, is kind of the question I'm asking here tonight, is do you think it's possible that Anakin Skywalker could have pulled Ben Solo out and saved his life? The same way he saves Ahsoka Tano's. The way he'd get off Exegol would be with the X-Wing the TIE fighter that's there. What do we think? Cat's Paw says, the Grisk seem to be the favorite species to come out of that new galaxy. Yeah, 100%. Definitely a new species are coming out of there for sure. Salty Texas Ranger says, they're all so bad that I have to say that Rose is my favorite character. Oh my God. I don't believe you. I don't. Friggin says, they completely killed off the Skywalker bloodline. It's blasphemy. It is interesting that not only does Palpatine die at the end of Rise, but the entire Skywalker bloodline does as well. You're not wrong. Salty says, the Critical Drinker made a pretty good argument about who Rose truly is. What do you mean, who she truly is? What you talking about? More than that, they degraded and humiliated the Skywalkers before killing them off. Yeah. But we're not talking about that, guys. Come on. We're trying to keep this an upbeat, happy stream, not the degrading of the Skywalker lineage stream. General Grievous says, Kylo Ren is probably one of my favorite, or is my favorite character in the sequel trilogy. While it is Mr. Bones in the larger sequel era. Who the hell's Mr. Bones? Mr. Bones. Star Wars. Who the hell's this? A droid? Why do I not know who this is? What's Mr. Bones from? Mr. Bones, let's see. Let's read this. Mr. Bones. This is so sick. It's a droid with bones on him. Okay, and he's got like a freaking weapon for a hand. Let's see. Mr. Bones, also simply referred to as Bones, was a heavily modified B-1 series of battle droids with a murderous personality. He was constructed by Temin Wexley and built by components the boy scavenged from the catacombs beneath Myra, the capital city of Akiva. Sure. Bones served as Timon's personal bodyguard. In addition to being considered a friend and loyal companion, he had a sadistic personality and would sing and hum while attacking, oh my God, and maiming his victims. Jesus. After Temin reunited with his mother, Nora Wexley, Timmon joined the nascent New Republic and helped Nora and her team hunt down the Imperial war criminals. When does this take place? 5 ABY? So after the original trilogy, but before the prequels? Interesting. So after the Battle of Endor, when Princess Leia enlisted the service of Nora and her team to find her husband Han Solo, Bones accompanied them. He took part in the liberation of these prisoners. What the hell? So they helped on the hunt for Grand Admiral Ray Salon. Okay, we talked about Ray Salon a bunch here. But I had no idea. What is this from, though? Like, what are the appearances? What is he in? It says, warning. The following parameters in this info box are unrecognized type. Where does he appear? Where are his appearances? I thought this thing showed appearances, no? Have you guys heard of this Bones character? Where the hell are his appearances? Why is he so gigantic? Why does he have this massive page? Okay, here we go. Oh, he's in the Aftermath books. Huh. The more you know. That's funny. That is funny. Sounds like an amazing character, not gonna lie. Sounds incredible. I love him. I love him so much. That's incredible. Snap Wexley's droid. Dominic, what's up? Dominic says, good night. People who love Star Wars and Captain Mike. You're leaving already, Dominic? You just got here. Anakin saves Ben Solo in my head canon. Well, it might be canon. Yeah, no? Star Wars spinoff, Toro Kalikon. Toro Kalikon? What the hell's that? What the hell's that? Droid from Aftermath novels. Well, I should have just read the chat. Mr. Bones. Am I the only one who believes / suspects that Jason, whether he is a Jedi or a member of the Church of the Force, represents a new hope / secret weapon for the galaxy in the Mandoverse in a post-sequel world? No, I definitely see Ben Solo. I mean, it's not Ben Solo. Jason Syndulla falling to the side of the dark side, but I don't know if... What do you guys think? Jason Syndulla? You think he'll be part of the future of Star Wars? Do you think they're setting him up to be a big character for the future? Let's talk about this. Dave Filoni is going to keep this Mandoverse kind of going for a long time, I think. I mean, you got the Skeleton Crew going, you got the movies coming, hopefully a trilogy of movies, but I think even after the trilogy of movies, you keep going with Luke's Jedi Temple, with Ben Solo's fall, and with that, you might be able to expand on characters like Din Djarin or Grogu, because they got to be around the galaxy too. Jason Syndulla, Ahsoka Tano if she survives, Sabine, Ezra if they survive. All these characters that don't show up in the sequel trilogy need an explanation as to why they don't show up in the sequel trilogy. Ezra Bridger, Sabine, Ahsoka, Din Djarin, Grogu, Jason Syndulla, Hera Syndulla, all these characters are young enough to be alive during the time of the sequel trilogy. A little bit older, but still be alive. Cal Kestis, true, also him. So where are they? All that needs to be explored, and we got a long time to do it. So Dave Filoni, I think, is just really scratching the surface when it comes to how he's exploring these characters and how he's going to explain these characters in where they are during the sequel trilogy. I don't think they're all on Peridia. I think that's just a stupid excuse. I think maybe a few of them are, but just to ship them all off to Peridia would be stupid. You also have to explain why they didn't help out in the original trilogy. There's a lot to explain. There is a lot to explain. And I think, Dave's going to have he's going to really have fun doing it. That's for sure. Jay says, yeah, I learned about him because he was in a Lego Star Wars game that came out 2 years ago. Interesting. It seems like they're setting up Jason as a new hope eventually. Interesting. I want to see Jason turn to the dark side so bad. But, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Torin Calican is a bounty hunter in Season 1, Episode 5 of The Mandalorian. All right, now I got to look him up. Toro Calican. Star Wars. Let's see it. Oh, this guy? I hated this guy. The gunslinger? Yeah, he was annoying as fuck. I hated this guy. You know who he looks like? He looks like a knockoff version of what's his name? He looks like a knockoff version of damn it. He looks like a knockoff version of I think if I just keep saying it, it'll come to me, He looks like a knockoff version of James Franco. Told you. James Franco. He looks like a knockoff version of him meets Zac Efron. You see it? Do you guys see it? Do you see it? True story. Okay. Do another poll for Jason. Should we end this poll? Let's end this poll. Let's see where it ended off at. 72% of you guys do want or don't want the reboot, and 27%, which the math is not mathing, but 27% of you do want that. That's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy. That is crazy. Jason Zantula, along with Bode's daughter, ooh, interesting, is the character who will better represent the Skywalker legacy. Ahsoka, Ezra, Sabine, Cal Kestis, etc., with Grogu in contrast to Rey. That's the thing. If you're going to this Rey movie, I actually have an article about this that we'll read in a second. If you're going to the Rey movie, you have to involve characters like Grogu, like Cal Kestis, if he's still alive, like Ahsoka, if she's still alive. So you can't just have the Rey movie and not include at least Grogu, because Grogu's become like the fan favorite character, but he's also extremely important for the future of the Jedi and the Mandalorian, and you kind of have to have him in the next movie, you know? I'd be surprised if he wasn't, honestly. General Grievous says, one of the reasons I like Mr. Bones is because I actually really enjoy the B-1 battle droids, and I also have an idea as a kid of a modified, more formidable B1 like that. It is pretty cool, having like the sword as a hand and then like the bones. It's a cool concept. Can't wait for Ezra to meet Jason. I will probably weep. Yeah, I don't know if you'll see that on screen. Actually, they missed an opportunity to show that on screen. At the end of Ahsoka, we could have got that scene with Jason Zandula meeting Ezra. Like, he should have been there. Like, he was with Hera anyway. Should have been there. Uh-oh. I'm out of water. You know what that means? Can I please get some good cups full orders in the chat, please? Dun dun! It's a big ass cup. Okay. Get my arm workout in carrying that thing. Jason will be the best part of the past and future Jedi. Interesting. Interesting. Mike, the ultimate narrative escape hatches for the Star Wars universe, Peridea and Tanalorr. No, Jason needs to be one of the good ones. No tragic life story for the Syndulas. I don't know. Well, I'd love to see him turn to the dark side. But yes, they're setting up Peridea and Tanalorr to be these safe havens away from galactic war. Where Cal Kestis is during probably the original trilogy is Tanalorr, and where Ahsoka most likely probably is for the sequel trilogy is Peridea. But we'll see. Yeah. Friggin says, I'm only interested in a Rey movie where she embraces her true heritage and goes Sith. That would be kind of cool. I mean, Palpatine does say, strike me down and I'll live inside of you forever. And she strikes him down and he doesn't live inside of her forever. So it would be cool to just see a Rey movie where she just immediately turns to the dark side. But I doubt that's what we'll get. It's me says, I mean, why shouldn't they reboot? What bad will happen? Interesting way of putting that. But what bad will happen is a lot of fans will not watch it. A lot of fans will hate it. And a lot of fans won't even give it the time of day. You're rebooting characters that people literally their whole lives have not only looked up to, but loved these characters. And really, when you think about the original trilogy specifically, with Luke Skywalker, the tragedy of Darth Vader, and Leia and Han even too, to take those characters and throw them and cast them to the side to try and redo it again just to make some more money. The guy literally says in his interview, like we just read, that the Hollywood studios are all about making money. And here he is wanting to reboot the original trilogy to make more money. It's just stupid. Yeah. He talks about how creativity's gone. Well, then create a new character. Dumbass. Now I'm fully back on the hate bandwagon on that guy again. I just put two and two together. I agree. No tragedies for Jason Syndulla. I don't know. No tragedies for the Syndullas? What do you mean? Hera's mother? Kanan Jarrus? Yeah, come on, guys. Kanan, who's like pretty much a Syndulla, let's be honest. Sacrifices himself, dies. Tragedy. Her mom? Tragedy. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Mike, I don't want Din Grogu. Din Grogu. I don't want Grogu to have to be subjected with appearing in follow-ups to Star Wars sequel trilogy, Disney sequel trilogy. Besides, Grogu would force push circles around Rey by age 91. Separate tales need to be told. All right, I kind of get that. You don't want Grogu involved in the Rey movie, but if you want people to enjoy the Rey movie or even go watch the Rey movie, you're going to have something that pulls fans in. And right now, since the Rey movie was announced, so many people are like, fuck that. I'm not watching that. No, like that's not it. And I'm sure if I started up a poll, let's pull it up. Let's just pull it up. Are you going to watch the Rey movie? Simple. Are you going to watch the Rey movie when it comes out? That's it. Are you going to watch it? Yes or no? Are you going to watch it? Yes or no? You tell me. Well, let's see. A lot of you are probably going to say yes just because you want to watch anything that's Star Wars, but I'm sure there'll be a bunch of no's. And the reason people say no is because there's no pull. They hate the sequel trilogy or they don't like Rey. They really don't like Rey because of what they did with her character and how she's a Skywalker now and all that stuff. Yeah. Kaz Paula says, Rey goes Sith and Ben Solo turns her back to the light is the only thing that will make sense. Well, if Rey goes Sith and Ben Solo comes back to life via Anakin, whew, that'd be crazy. Exactly. Haven't we had enough tragedy in his family? That's why I want Jason to train with Ezra, and even a little maybe with Luke, and be a Force-sensitive member of the Church of the Force. Interesting. Isn't Lor Santeca a part of that church as well? Yeah, maybe. Anthony says, Mike, could you imagine if Lucasfilm Ltd. Includes Grogu and Jason, etc., just to entice us to go see the movie? Well, it wouldn't be just to entice us. It would also be to incorporate those characters into the main sort of story of Star Wars. Because there's no way they're making a one-off Rey movie, guys. This is probably going to be episode 10, and we're probably going to keep going with the trilogy kind of brand. The whole trilogy version of Star Wars, and I think that's the way to go, honestly. If you're gonna go with Star Wars, go with a trilogy, because why would you just make another one-off movie when Rogue One was a huge hit, massive hit, made a bunch of money, but Solo didn't make you any money. It actually lost you money. So I think trilogies from here on out should be the only way. This is the way. Salty Texas Ranger says, Rey has got to go dark side. It's the only way to give her a chance for any depth at all. I agree with that. Maybe not the only way, but I agree that she should go dark side. And right away, 57% of you say no, you won't be seeing the Rey movie. Interesting. Well, let's read about 8 Jedi who could appear in the Rey movie. Let's do it. This is coming from Screen Rant. 8 Jedi who could appear in the Rey movie, and maybe this will change your mind. Maybe if you have an open mind. Rey's new Jedi Order film will show Rey Skywalker 15 years after the rise of Skywalker, but what other familiar Star Wars faces could we see? Let's find out. First of all, she's holding Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, and it's like this yellow-green. Weird, but okay. Star Wars will soon begin to explore the galaxy after the Skywalker saga's conclusion, raising the question of which Jedi may appear in Rey's Skywalker New Jedi Order film. Very little is certainly known about this film, okay? Which Charmin Obid Chinoy will direct. Ugh. No offense to her personally, but damn, that's a bad choice. But it will almost certainly see the appearance of other Jedi besides Daisy Ridley's Rey. So with many Jedi reveals in the show, in shows set during the New Republic era, like Ahsoka in The Mandalorian, it seems likely that familiar Jedi faces will appear. It's unclear what the state of the Jedi Order will be, and if any surviving Jedi of old will be willing to join Rey in rebuild, because the conflict of the film still is unknown. The ambition of the new Jedi remains to be seen. There's potential that Rey is still recruiting other Jedi to help her run the Order, or perhaps there is a new threat that will force Rey to reach out into the Force to other Force sensitives for help. Here are 8 known Jedi that could make an appearance alongside of Rey in the new Jedi Order film. So let's just kind of take this from what that just said. It takes place 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. So for 15 years, Rey is presumably building up a Jedi Order, a new Jedi Order. So I don't know how big you can make a Jedi Order really in just 15 years, but we'll see, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But what are the 8 characters? Well, let's put it this way, because we can already see that the top one is Ahsoka Tano. What Jedi would you want to see involved in Rey's new Jedi Order in a post-sequel world? What Jedi alive? Of course, they have to be alive. So, like, we're talking Ezra, Jason, maybe somebody who survived Luke's Jedi Temple. I don't know. Ezra, Jason, Ahsoka, maybe Sabine, maybe Grogu, probably Cal Kestis, maybe. He'd probably be a lot older. I don't know. Who else? Broom Boy. Everybody loves Broom Boy. What Jedi would you want to see? Let's see. Right off the bat, it goes number 8, Ahsoka Tano. So it was believed that Ahsoka Tano's voice being heard as one of the voices as of Jedi past in Rise of Skywalker meant that she had died by that time in the Star Wars timeline. However, Dave Filoni seems to hint that Ahsoka could still be alive during the events of Rise of Skywalker, with Rey's new Jedi Order film taking place 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker, around 50 ABY. Ahsoka Tano would be only about 100 years old, and typically Togruta, my fault, usually have a lifespan of about 82 years, but those who can access the Force live up to 200 years. So she would only be like midlife. Maybe she has a midlife crisis, but that's a whole nother thing. Let's zoom in a little bit here. I lied. Let's zoom back out. It cuts off on my screen too. Because of Ahsoka's close association with the light side of the Force, it is possible at 100 she will still be alive. It's unknown what kind of state Ahsoka will be in at the end of Dave Filoni's Mandoverse era movie, which will probably be Heir to the Empire movie. But given that the Mortis gods are being reintroduced, Ahsoka may take over the role of the daughter. This would technically make her godly, which would in turn make her nearly impossible to kill. It could also explain why Ahsoka's voice was heard by Rey in Rise of Skywalker. Ahsoka would have been in a different realm and heard her calling out. Interesting. So do you guys think Ahsoka is dead during the time of the sequel trilogy? Just give me a yes or no. Do you think Ahsoka's dead during the time of the sequel trilogy when she calls out to Rey? Do you believe that she is dead at that time? Do you think Ahsoka's dead? Because honestly, I don't think so at all. I think Ahsoka, maybe she's on Peridia, maybe she's doing something else. Like, we see her call out to Sabine. We see her call out to Sabine in the Ahsoka show. Is that foreshadowing her still being alive and being able to call out to Rey? I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think? Let's just check on the chat real quick before I keep going to number 7, which clearly is Ezra Bridger. Let's see. At this point, I wish Rey would just go to the dark, period. That would be kind of cool. If she just stayed dark side, that would be crazy. Then dies. Let's be realistic. The Rise of Skywalker would have been interesting if Rey took Kylo's hand and joined him in the dark side instead of what happened. That would have been crazy, and like Finn had to become a Jedi and then stop her. That would have been wild. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah. It should have been Ben Solo and Rey taking down Palpatine together. Well, that's kind of what it was. No. Miss Obed Chinow, an Oscar-winning documentary filmer. Well, that screams a perfect fit for directing a Star Wars movie after the mixed reception of the sequel trilogy. Yeah. So she won Oscars for short films, I believe, or it was documentaries, but they were like short documentaries. I believe they were only like 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't really know. But she definitely doesn't have the background, that's for sure. She did those things which won her some awards, but she also did 2 episodes of the Miss Marvel show. And that's about it. She also doesn't really know Star Wars, so that's a big no-no, you know. Catspaw says, everyone wants to know what happened to Broom Boy. I know, right? What happened to Broom Boy? I don't know if Ahsoka was dead then, but Star Wars definitely was. You got a point. But no. They freed the father. They freed the father? Oh, what? Oh, they freed the people, the horses things in The Last Jedi, but they left the kids as slaves. Yeah. You're not wrong. Miss Obed Chinoy is an activist, agenda-driven director? I don't know how true that is, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't think Ahsoka's dead. So you guys don't seem to think Ahsoka is dead during the time of Rise of Skywalker, at least from the few who answered my question. Broom Boy got a promotion to Vacuum Man. That's actually amazing. That's amazing. That's awesome. Yes, he did. But I agree. I don't think Ahsoka was dead during the time of Rise of Skywalker when she's calling out to Ahsoka. When she's calling out to Ahsoka, yeah. I don't think she is. Thankfully, a month earlier, John and Dave gave Star Wars a second life. Yeah, it's true. Mando came out started right before Rise of Skywalker came out. And if it didn't, a lot of people would have been a little bit more concerned. Yeah. All right, let's keep reading this article. Let's go to number 7, which is Ezra Bridger. Let's keep going. Ezra Bridger. With Ezra Bridger back in the main Star Wars galaxy at the end of Ahsoka Season 1, he may go on to be a Jedi Master. Oops. Ezra was taught by his master, Kanan Jarrus, during the time of the Empire's reign, meaning that he would be able to adapt easily to teach younglings as a new Jedi Order was established. It's possible that by 50 ABY, Ezra will have already trained a Padawan, probably Jason Syndulla. While Ezra would be about 72 during the time of Rey's movie, he could fulfill a role as Tera Sinube, the older Jedi Master who helped Ahsoka Tano find her missing lightsaber in the episode in the Clone Wars. Yeah, so he could definitely play an older Jedi type character, especially to help Rey out. But I don't know. Like, the thing is this Rey movie comes out in 2 years, so you'd have to cast a new Ezra, like an old Ezra. So if this comes out in 2 years, then you'd have to have an old Ezra. You'd have to have an old version of all these characters, really. Sabine's next on the list. You'd have to have an old version of her. You'd have to have an older version. Ahsoka's kind of easier because she wouldn't have aged that much. So you could make Rosario just look a little bit older. But yeah, you'd have to make these actors a lot older. You'd have to at least recast them as older actors, which would be problematic. So maybe let's hold off on the Rey movie now. Let's keep going. Sabine Wren, number 6. Ahsoka Season 1 finale showed Sabine Wren opening herself up to the Force. By the way, this is going crazy, okay? I made the video about should Sabine be able to use the Force. I put the poll up, should Sabine be able to use the Force. I did the short, should Sabine be able to use the Force? And people are losing their freaking minds about whether or not she should be able to use the Force. I thought it was pretty damn well-deserved. 15 years of training with Kanan Jarrus and Ahsoka Tano, training on screen, training off screen, being a descendant of Tar Vizsla. I thought it was pretty well deserved, but it seems like a lot of people have differing opinions, but that's I guess for another time. But opening herself up to the Force, firmly cementing her as a Jedi. Sabine may have the oldest human Padawan audiences have ever seen. Maybe the oldest human Padawan audiences have ever seen, because she's very old. Just kidding. She's very young. But that does not mean that she can't lead a fulfilling life as a Jedi who helps usher in the next generation. Sabine comes from a long line of non-traditional Jedi, so seeing her train younglings in her own way seems fitting. Though Sabine will be older by the age of 50 ABY, that doesn't mean she won't have some wisdom or knowledge to pass down. First, Ahsoka Season 2 must see her and Ahsoka make it back to the main Star Wars galaxy. That's true. Her and Ahsoka are both stranded on Peridia. Now we're getting a little bit interesting, because Jude Law's character, of course, is going to be set up in Skeleton Crew. He would be a lot older by the time of the Rey movie, like ancient old, but let's read it. So Jude Law's Jedi. So Star Wars' newest Skeleton Crew is set to premiere in 2024, most likely January, guys, which would be insane. But there's a lot of mystery surrounding Jude Law's character, who is supposed to be a Jedi. This show will feature an ensemble of younger characters, though it's currently unclear if those children will be Force sensitive or not, even though Skeleton Crew is rumored to take place in a third galaxy. It doesn't mean that Jude Law's Jedi can't impact the future of Star Wars. I have not heard that rumor at all. A new third galaxy? That would kind of be insane. That would be insane. It's possible that Jude Law's character could make an appearance alongside of Rey Skywalker. Oh, God. Rey. I'm just going to call her Rey, okay? Just Rey. Just Rey. Or perhaps one or more of the children featured taught by him in the show that will help Rey establish this new Jedi Order. So yeah, I think, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean it. I'm done. I won't call her Rey, But I don't think Jude Law's character will be alive by then. He'd be like 100 and who knows, 20? I don't know. But I don't think he'll be alive. Jason Zandula. All right, this is where things get interesting. He, I think, is probably one of the most likely people to be in this because he's so young. You're so young. Jason Zandula was properly introduced to audiences in Ahsoka Season 1. And it's already been revealed that he is Force sensitive and wants to be a Jedi like his father, Kanan Jarrus. Some theories suggest that Jason is one of the Jedi who dies when Kylo Ren burns down Luke Skywalker's academy. That would be a bummer. That'd be such a bummer, but honestly, it'd be kind of cool. It would help Ben Solo's fall to the dark side a lot if Jason Syndulla was at Luke's Jedi Temple and died there. That would be insane. Oh, that would be so cool. It'd be so cool, but at the same time, it would kind of suck, but I don't know. It would be cool. But it's also possible Jason will be trained by someone else. The best candidate to train Jason would be Ezra Bridger, as Jason would have a bond with his father's student and become a recipient of his teachings. Having Jason help reestablish the Jedi Order would be a great way to connect shows like Ahsoka and Star Wars Rebels to a post-Rise of Skywalker galaxy. It's true. It would definitely help out for sure. A lot of fans who like the Rebels or liked Ahsoka or even Jason's character in general would be more connected. Now, Cal Kestis, another character who would be a lot older at this time. But Cal Kestis is a human Jedi who survived Order 66 when he was a Padawan during the reign of the Empire. Cal was on a mission to try to rebuild the Jedi Order, but instead chose to keep the... I think my dog is coming downstairs. Bobo. Do you guys want to see my dog? Bobo, come. Come here. Do you want to see a dog? Come here. Hello. Let's go full screen for this. It's the Boo dog. This dog's name is Boo. Perfect time for Halloween. Oh, Boo Boo. It's a dog. Boo Boo, look at the camera. Oh, she looked at the camera. Hello, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hello. She blends in with the background. Oh! Say hi to the people. Do you have something to say? Say hi. Do you have... Oh. No, nothing. Nothing to say to the fans? Are you a member of the channel? Or do you want to talk about Star Wars? Are you going to be a Jedi at Rey's Jedi Temple? Come here. Hello. Look at the camera. Say cheese. She's so done with me. Okay, you can leave. Bye. Bye. Boo. Don't scare her like that. That's Boo. Give him a treat. It's a her. And I don't have a treat. Bobo, you want a pop figure? Bobo. I don't have any treats for her. I apologize. All right, let's get back. I got distracted. Okay? Bobo, come back. Come here, Boo. The fans want you back. Come here. Bobo, come. She's coming back. The return of Boo. Oh, wait. What are you doing? That's not me. Come here. No. Come here. Where are you going? Bobo, come. Good girl. She's back. Return of the Boo. Boo is from Naboo. Should we just hang out with Boo for the rest of the stream? Boo, you want to read the next article? Do you want to know who's the next Jedi on the list? Let's keep reading. You guys stay with me? I doubt it. She's going to leave us. Yep. Okay, bye. Bye, Boo. Everybody say bye, Boo. Bye, Boo. Okay, let's go. Let's keep going. During the reign of the Empire, Cal was on a mission to try and rebuild the Jedi Order, but instead chose to keep the galaxy Force-sensitive children safe from the Empire. This is where we leave off in Jedi Survivor. Cal's fate hasn't been revealed, so it's possible that an old Cal could make a jump from video games into live action and help guide Rey in training younglings. Somebody do the math. How old would Cal Kestis be by the time of the Rey movie? I feel like he's older than Ezra by a significant amount, like 10 years or something, right? So he'd be like in his 80s, if not even older, something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Don't worry, guys. I'll get to all your chats. Don't worry about it. I will. Next is Grogu. I wonder who's number one then. If Grogu's not number one, let's keep it a secret, I guess, because I don't even know. Well, Grogu left Luke Skywalker to be reunited with Din Djarin. He still is a Force sensitive and will have an sorry, and will have an exponentially long lifespan. Exceptionally. Jesus Christ. Long lifespan. This means that by the time of Rey's new Jedi Order, Grogu may have renewed interest in learning the ways of the Force and becoming a Jedi, especially if Din Djarin's dead at that time. If Grogu ever meets Sabine Wren, it would become fairly clear that he would have both a Mandalorian and a Jedi. Or could be both a Mandalorian and a Jedi. This would be interesting storyline for Grogu and a cool way to further connect the galaxy's era. So that's also true. Grogu's going to live for 900 years, okay? He's going to live for a long-ass time. And that means he's going to be around for a long time post-sequels. So is he going to be one of the people who kind of help Rey start her Jedi Temple? Is he going to be the next Yoda or what? But let me go to the chat for a second here. Who do you guys think is going to be number one on this list? Give me some guesses for number one on the list, because we went through Grogu, Cal Kestis, Jason Syndulla, Sabine, Ezra, Jude Law's Jedi, Ahsoka. Who's number one on this list? Who do you guys think it is? I'm going to check and see. Oh my God, you guys will never guess. That's actually hilarious. I did not expect that at all. Who do you guys think's number one on the list? I'll be absolutely shocked if any of you get this. Finn? Interesting. No. It's a good guess, but no. Interesting guess, but no. Jar Jar. Oh, what's up, Cole? How we doing? No. Kiara. That's not a bad guess. That's actually a very smart guess. No, it's not. Not Kiara. I don't think Kiara was actually Force sensitive. I think she just trained with Darth Maul. Quinlan Voss. No, but good guess. He would be ancient by then. He'd be ancient by then, Jim. Ancient. Grogu, a.k.a. the Disney cash cow, will most certainly be in the movie. Yeah, he is a cash cow for sure. You guys don't got it yet. I was actually really surprised when I scrolled down and saw this name, so I wouldn't be surprised if you guys didn't guess it, but it is somebody who's been around recently. Shin Hati, Jim for the win. Shin Hati is number one on the list. Shin Hati. All right, let's read it up. Shin Hati was introduced in the Ahsoka show as an apprentice to the Dark Jedi Balin Skull. Shin is skilled with the lightsaber, but also craves power. During Ahsoka Episode 5, her facade cracked when Ahsoka Tano offered her help, reaching out her hand just like Ben Solo does to Rey. Shin may eventually turn to the light side of the Force. It's not known how old Rey Hati is during the Ahsoka show. She looks pretty young, I'd say in her 20s, maybe even younger, honestly, 19. I don't know. Maybe mid-20s. I'd say mid-20s. So she would definitely be young enough to exist in this time, you know? Probably the same age as Ezra, so yeah. She'd be a lot older, but yeah. But it's thought that she's in her 20s. There you go. Like Ezra Bridger. Having someone who closely toes the line of the dark side may be valuable to Rey when she's building her new order. With so many new Jedi and Force sensitives being introduced in the new Republic era of Star Wars, it seems that any number of characters could appear in Rey's new Jedi Order film. It's also possible that none of these Jedi will appear, and Rey will turn to rebuild the Jedi like Luke Skywalker did alone. As more details are revealed about the plot of the upcoming film, it may give audiences a better clue as to which Jedi will or will not appear. More will likely be revealed after Filoni's Heir to the Empire film debuts, and will give audiences a bit of a sense of which Jedi are left in the Star Wars galaxy. That's a pretty good article. Honestly, did not think of Shin, but that's a good point. Shin, I still think, is going to come to the light side, so that's a good point to have her in there. But what's interesting to me, and what I want to know from you guys, is in your ideal world with a Rey movie, and I know your ideal world probably doesn't involve a Rey movie at all, but let's say it does. Let's say Rey movie is happening regardless. In your ideal world, who would be in it? Not like, let's just say who Jedi-wise would be in it for the Jedi? Who would you want to help Ahsoka Tano rebuild her Jedi Order? Would you want Grogu there? Would you want Shin Batty there? Who would you want? Let me scroll up and read all these chats that I missed too. So hang on one sec. There's a bunch of chats I missed. Let me go back up. Okay, here we go. Salty Texas Ranger says, I do wonder if Ezra smelled like a moldy green fart in that scene. Oh, yeah, he probably hasn't showered in 11 years, so a moldy green fart. I didn't realize that farts could be green or moldy when they're gas, but yes, I do think that's exactly what he smelled like. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Cat's Paw says, Hera still should have rushed up to Ezra and giving him a big mother hug when she was famous for. Yes and no. I think she was more shocked because he was there, and of course Ahsoka and Sabine were not, and what that means is bad news. So I think she was probably a little bit upset about that. At this point, Ezra would have passed out from the blood flow, leaving his brain, if you get my drift. I don't. I do, but I don't. I don't know why he would. I know what your drift is supposed to mean, but I don't know what you're referring to. Yeah. Salty Texas Ranger says that scene was stupid. Why did they have Ezra walk out with a stormtrooper helmet on? Just silly. Yeah, it was kind of just more for the show and tell type thing. It was an Ezra Bridger type scene. He purposely comes out with the stormtrooper helmet on to kind of just like play the joke, like it's Ezra Bridger. That's what he does, you know. Jim says, I don't think they should reboot Star Wars, but I kind of wish they had given the sequel trilogy to Matthew Vaughn. At least he seems passionate about the original characters. That's not a bad idea, actually. Obviously, the sequel trilogy's over now, but that wouldn't have been a bad idea at the time. Yeah. She's a Palpatine. There you go. Rey Palpatine. Should we call her Rey Palpatine from now on? I loved what Dave did with Jason's character in Ahsoka. Me too. He definitely set him up for a big future, probably. Salty Texas Ranger says, okay, Rey should have been a Skywalker, but not in the hilarious, stupid way it fleshed out. She should have been Luke's legitimate child, and he mind blocked and hid to protect her from Snoke. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. If Rey was Luke's daughter, and when she shows up at the end of Force Awakens, he was just like, Rey? She was like, what, you know my name? That would have been insane. And then we find out that it's his daughter, and he did have to hide her on the planet to protect her from Snoke. Like, that would have been great, Salty. You're not wrong. That would have been incredible. Pretty much, yeah. Anything yeah. Oh no, I misgendered the canine. Yeah, you did. And she's going to go cry about it now. And I'm not going to, damn it. I'm going to have to give her so many treats just because Salty Texas Ranger called Boo a he. Damn it. Jim says, I kind of want Thrawn, Ezra, Jason, Ahsoka, Sabine, etc. all to return to the new galaxy to fight an actual threat. Not the stupid First Order, like the Yuuzhan Vong. That's not a bad idea. Maybe like Abeloth or somebody like that as well. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting to see. Guys, what if that was the last time we see Ahsoka for like a long ass time. Like, what if she and Sabine stay there on purpose because she's like, this is where we're supposed to be? What if that's the last time we see Ahsoka for a long, long time? Like, what if we don't see Ahsoka until a post-sequel world? What if she does remain on Peridia until the end of the sequels? She has no intention of coming home right now. She says this is where we're supposed to be. I don't know. Something to think about. The next movie, Rise of Doom Syndulla. Who's Doom? Rey was the main character, and absolutely she should have been an actual Skywalker, and the villain should have been Plagueis. It's a no-brainer. It really was stupid that that this whole thing played out the way that it did. But with that being said, I still think it could come out well, you know? I still want to see Ben Solo's fall, that's for sure. Jim says, Cal would be very old. He's like 15 years older than Luke and Ezra. 15 years older than Luke and Ezra. So if they said Ezra would be 72 during the time of the Rey movie, 15 years after Rise, that would make Cal Kestis 15 years older than 72, which would be 80, 87. No, yes, 87. 87, which technically would easily still be able to be alive, but he would be definitely really old. Yeah. Cal will be closer to Ahsoka's age, or maybe Kanan's should he had lived. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, he'd be 87. Did I just say 87? Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy destroyed these movies, and then they covered it up by calling us all racist and misogynists and phobes. Yes, as I like to say. Yeah. Moving on. Grogu, sorry, I already read that. Brother, she doesn't have to be force sensitive in my book. It would have been enough for both of us. I would have enough for both of us. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Love her character. Dave did well in creating her and Baylan. Yeah, so Baylan and Shin were new characters, of course, introduced in the Ahsoka show. They were incredibly cool characters. Like, incredibly cool. I don't think Dave's given enough credit for introducing these two amazing new characters. Grogu will be the next Yoda. Will make better sense. Yeah, he's pretty much the next Yoda, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Cole Rita says, having learned from Baylan, she might be a more balanced force instead of creating the Jedi again. Well, think about the Jedi that we're talking about here. Ahsoka, who left the Jedi Order, who's not really a Jedi. Shin, who's not really a Jedi. Sabine, who's not really a Jedi. Ezra Bridger, who was trained after the Jedi Order fell, and he has some dark side tendencies as well. Cal Kestis, who we've seen has a lot of dark side tendencies. And even Rey, who's shooting lightning bolts out of her fingers. She's a Palpatine. So that's a lot of Jedi. And even Grogu's choking people. Grogu's literally choking people, Cara Dune, in Mando Season 1. So all the Jedi that remain are kind of like this gray Jedi type characters where they're all kind of in the middle and just doing their own thing. They're not light side, they're not dark side, they're kind of just floating around. But yeah. Jim says, I really don't think Shin will return from Peridia, at least not as herself. Abeloth is coming for her. You think Abeloth is coming for Shin? If Abeloth embodied Shin, that might be the play, Jim. You might be onto something there. You might be onto something there because people fell in love with Shin. Now, if she came back as this badass, scary ass Abeloth character, but she looked the same. And then, like, when she was, like, destroying people, like, her face, like, flashed Abeloth's face, like the giant smile, creepy smile. That would be insane. And she's already a beloved character. So you might be onto something there. That'd be cool. Salty says, think of the most awesome content you can from the movies, and I bet 1,000% they will do the opposite. Well, I'd hope not. I definitely hope not. Because I don't think they have this whole entire time. They've done a lot of bad stuff, but not the entire time. Abeloth is coming for us all. I hope so. I think if Abeloth is the villain of the Rey movie and she like slaughters Rey, I think a lot of fans would be pretty happy about that, you know? General Grievous says, overall, I think rebooting Star Wars is a really ridiculous idea. I agree with that. Rasheen Rose, what's up? Rasheen says, no reboot. I agree with that. She looks exactly like Abeloth. Does she, though? Let's take a look. Shin Hati. Hati. Shin Hati. Let's put Shin Hati and let's put her next to Abeloth. Actually, I kind of see what you're saying. Oh my God, you might be right. Oh my God. Wow, you might be onto something here. We might be onto something here. So let's take a look at Shin. This is Shin Hati. And then this is Abeloth. They're both kind of white-ish, like really white, blondish hair. They both peer into your soul. They both are scary as fuck. And they're both kind of creepy. This is weird. The similarities are kind of crazy. Even her eyebrows are like darker and her eyebrows are darker. This is like shit from nightmares, guys. This is scary. But if you hide it behind this face, like people already fell in love with this girl. Oh, I think you might be onto something. You just gotta give her some tentacles, you know, just the tentacles. I don't know. That might be. I might have to write this one down. Shin equals Abeloth. There you go. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. Definitely similarities there. Definitely similarities, for sure. General Grievous says, wait, what? Star Wars is not the type of franchise like Lord of the Rings that you can just reboot. Well, they don't reboot Lord of the Rings either, do they? Now they just went back to The Hobbit, and now they're going back to the Rings of Power, which is like the beginning. I don't think they're rebooting that shit. But like they reboot other stuff. They're rebooting Harry Potter. They rebooted Star Trek. They're probably going to reboot the MCU at some point because they always reboot superheroes. They've rebooted James Bond. They've rebooted so many stuff. But Star Wars is definitely not one. Yeah, I agree with that. Jim says, I want Darth Krayt to be the villain of the Rey movie only if he wins. Interesting. Darth Krayt would be cool. Definitely be cool. I think Abeloth would be cooler, but that's just me. I think Abeloth isn't a Sith, which doesn't help. I think Darth Krayt being a Sith does help, but where would Darth Krayt even come from, though? That's the question. Salty says, if Ahsoka stayed on Peridia, there's your Kathleen Kennedy bait and switch. What do you mean? If Grogu's the next Yoda, that blows because I don't have that long to live to find out. Well, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll have some time jumps there. I'm sure we won't have to wait to see for all of that, you know? Cat's Paw says, Kanan Jarrus / Caleb Dune misspelled Doom earlier for, Rise of Doom. I get you. Doom's, yes. Yeah. She really does look like Abeloth. It is kind of freaky. Lord of the Rings has been rebooted many times and animated in films. Oh, really? I did not know that. I did not know that. Shin doesn't have as many teeth. Well, that's true, but she could get some implants, you know? I saw that image of Abeloth when I was a kid and I couldn't sleep at night. I'm glad I didn't because I probably wouldn't be either. She's scary as balls. Balls are scary, what? Cat's Paw says, I thought Shin reminded me of a Night Sister in coloring. Yeah, she kind of, she gives off weird vibes for sure. Also, if the Rey movie is part of Abeloth, they have to make it at least a trilogy. I agree with that. Yes. I think if Abeloth is coming in as a villain, you got to make it a trilogy. You got to make it a trilogy. Now, if this first movie, this Rey movie, is establishing Rey's Jedi Order, and then like Abeloth comes in as this big new threat, if Finn's there, if Ben Solo somehow comes back, if that's kind of what it is, I wouldn't be that upset about it. Time jumps in Star Wars are definitely coming. Oh yeah, for sure. 100% yes. Time jumps forward and time jumps backwards. You're going to get a huge time jump back to the dawn of the Jedi, which is 25,000 years, which is a long time. I want Shin to beat the crap out of me while I'm strung up on spice. Strung out on spice. Friggins, good on you. Darth Revan says, wait, Abeloth had black eyes? So do the Night Sisters. Ooh, yeah, that's true. That is true. Abeloth does have those black eyes that Morgan Elsbeth had in that finale for sure. Losing my voice. Jim says, out of left field, but they should do Asherid Het in the next Tales of the Jedi, and then have him in Kenobi Season 2 and launch the character of Crate. I don't know how to pronounce his name, honestly. Ashard. I don't know. But yes, I think Darth Crate is a good way to go. But why not have Darth Crate be it like in Luke's Jedi Temple? Luke's Jedi Temple before it falls, and then when it does fall, he escapes, like kind of like all the Jedi that survived Order 66. Like Ben Solo slaughters a lot of the Jedi, but he survives and then becomes Darth Crate. Like that would be cool. That would be cool. I think we need to explore Luke's Jedi Temple more, have that be a more meaningful thing in the history of Star Wars, Luke's Jedi Temple, and Ben Solo's fall be a more meaningful thing. But also the characters and the Jedi that were raised by Luke Skywalker, have some of them survive. Like Order 66, have some of them survive and be future characters, whether it's Darth Crate or whether some of them survive and continue to be good characters. I think Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple needs to be a important piece of the Jedi lore, for sure. Yeah, 100%. Cat's Paw says Night Sisters have more of a light gray eye than in Clone Wars. That's true. That is true. But in live action, they have very dark eyes. Want to buy some death sticks? Nah, I'm good. Woo, perfect idea. What's up, Raheem? How we doing? It is a great idea, Jim. Honestly, great idea. But I would love to see him not in Kenobi, in Luke's Jedi Temple. If they explore Luke's Jedi Temple, they need to do Kyle Katarn and Jaden Core. I think they could do all of that, but I also want to see new characters. New characters, old characters, Legends characters, whatever you want. Throw in Lor Santeca, throw in Kyle Katarn, throw in all these characters, but also throw in new characters. Make us attached to these characters as much as we were with the Jedi Order, with Plo Koon, with Ki-Adi-Mundi, like these characters that we like. And then kill them all off with Ben Solo's fall to the dark side. Make it meaningful. Make it something to look forward to. And then have some of them survive like Order 66 and have some of them be cool, awesome characters and turn into Darth Crate or something cool like that. It's definitely a cool idea. Darth Revan says, also, Abeloth is called the Mother, and the Night Sisters also are referred to as Mother. So what if the Night Sisters are even older than the Jedi, and the mortal women that turns into Abeloth used to be a Night Sister? That's not a terrible idea, because the Night Sisters came from this planet of Peridia. These Mortis gods also seem to have come from this planet as well, or at least were here at some point with the statues and stuff. So maybe she was a Night Sister. That's why her eyes are black. That's why she looks the way that she does. And then she does kind of go the whole Abeloth story. She goes and takes care of the Mortis gods as like their mother, and then she drinks from the wells and becomes evil. That'd be sick. That'd be amazing. Friggin says, since the source of the Night Sister magic seems to be coming from Peridia, a connection to Abeloth would make a lot of sense. It would, yeah. It would. Jim says, that's true. Balin and Shin prove that they can write interesting new characters. All right. I don't like the argument of Disney can't write a new good character. Guys, there's Kylo Ren, for example. Like, he's your favorite character from the sequels, but he's a good character. Like, Kylo Ren, Ben Solo is a good character. Now, he is, of course, based off of many different characters from Legends, but even Grogu, Din Djarin, like, there's a ton, like, even the whole Mandalorian cast with Cara Dune, Greef Karga, IG-11, like, all these characters are incredibly cool new characters. Queel, whoever. They're all incredibly cool new characters. They're created by Disney. Now it's created by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and great writers, but that's a whole nother thing. They can still create good characters. That's for sure. And yes, Balin and Shin are a good example of that. Cat's Paw says, I saw that idea about the Night Sisters in another stream, Darth Revan. I can't wait to see what the Night Sisters are running from. Yeah, I can't wait. I definitely can't wait. And it has to do with who's calling to Balin. It just has to. It has to. Din Djarin, Luthen from Mandalorian, from Andor, Kino Loy from Andor, all great characters. Yes, they are. They are. All great new characters. It seems more and more likely the more I think about it that the Night Sisters, that a Night Sister has something to do with Abeloth. I agree with that. Yeah, there's new good characters. The ones you mentioned and the Andor characters too. Yeah, there's a ton of good new characters. So the whole Star Wars sucks since Disney bought it is just dumb. It's stupid, it's dumb, and it's dumb, and it's stupid. Some of the best Star Wars ever. One of my favorite Star Wars movies ever, my third favorite Star Wars movie ever, is a Disney Star Wars movie, and it's Rogue One. And if you haven't seen Rogue One in a while, honestly, guys, go rewatch it because you probably think it's good in your head, but if you go rewatch it, it's an incredible movie. Incredible movie. But yeah, that movie's incredible. But also my favorite Star Wars content in general, the Ahsoka show, Mando Season 2, Star Wars Rebels. It all comes from Disney. You can't just sit here and tell me that Disney everything sucks because you're just lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to me. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Why would you lie to me? Oh, guys, I want to throw this by you guys, just to throw it out there. I was thinking about adding 2 new tiers to the membership thing, to the members for the channel, for the people who love Star Wars, for the members only stuff. To become a member, you get the ability to do members only Discord, members only live streams. You get instant access to giveaways, stuff like that. I was wondering if you guys would be interested because I know a lot of people can't afford the $5 a month and it's a lot to ask and it's very supportive of me. But what if I added 2 new tiers for the people who want to support a really whole lot, and that would be a $10 or $9.99 tier, and then the tier that's still there, which is the $5.99, and then a lower tier, which would be only either $1.99 or even just 99 cents, and it would just be $1. Just any support is support, and that's what I would love to do. Plus, the people who only want to put in $1 just for maybe a chance to win a giveaway or something like that can do that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that a good idea, bad idea? What do we think? For those of you who aren't members, who want to become a member or whatever, all that stuff, what would you think? Jay says, I would join for $1.99. There you go. I was thinking about doing it, like 3 different tiers. So you'd have a $10 tier, $5 tier, maybe $1 tier, something like that. I was just thinking about it. Just thinking about it. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. We're working on the store still. The store will hopefully come out. The store will hopefully be released within the next couple weeks here. It's still being worked on. If you guys want to see a little sneak peek at this store, there's nothing going on, but it's still a sneak peek. I am not a robot. I am not a robot. Thanks for asking. Let's take a look at this. Stores. No. Edit store, I guess. If you want to see how crazy this store is looking right now, this is it. It's just the top. Hats, shirts, cups, and there's no hats, shirts, or cups. But there's no products there yet, but there will be. There will be products, and there'll be plenty of them. We'll come up with some cool-ass designs for members, and for if you also become a member, you'll get a discount to that store when it finally comes out and stuff like that. I'm also thinking about doing a intro song for this, maybe something just like I mentioned this on Thursday, me like going, oh, we live, it's Saturday night, we live, and it would be like some Star Wars music in the background instead of just me going, are we live? Are we live? Ian, you just subscribed? Ian, is this thing broken? I think it's broken. I know Ian's been subscribed for a while. But no, so yes, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that? A new song? Late to the party? Star Wars reboot? What the fuck? Yeah, Ian, you're a little bit late, but I'll recap briefly for you. This stupid-ass guy named Matthew Vaughn, who did Kingsman and X-Men First Class, wants to reboot Star Wars. It's not going to happen, but it's just stupid. So we're talking about behind the scenes. We're talking about, I want you guys' input on this. An intro song / exit song for the live streams. What do we think about that? Also, subscription. I've been subscribed for ages as well. I know, Ian, but for some reason, like when you come into the chat, it tells me that you just subscribed. I don't know. It's weird. Probably a glitch in the matrix. But also 3 different tiers for the members, $10, $5, and $1. And just hyped for the store, I guess. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Where was I? Friggin says Krennic. Krennic is also another good character. K2SO, another one. Jyn Erso, of course, yes. Revan says, the thing with Disney is that although they have put out good stuff, they mess up the most important and influential stuff, like the sequels. Yeah, so there is definitely faults when it comes to Disney Star Wars, but it can't just sit here and tell me that it's all bad, you know? Jay says, I would join for $1.99. Well, what if it was just $99, Jay? What do you think about that? Raheem's World with the 2-month member. Thanks, Raheem says, that would be nice of you, man. Or that's nice of you, man. Thanks. Cappy says, is there food in that store? No. Definitely can't sell food, I don't think, but maybe. How we doing, Cappy? Hopefully the mug/cup will hold at least 24 ounces. I'm guessing it'll be something like this size. I don't even know. I don't know how big it will be, but hopefully it'll, yes, 24 ounces. I don't know what 24 ounces even is. I don't know how much 24 ounces even is. I don't know. Matthew Vaughn did Kick-Ass, which is freaking awesome. I bet he's a pretty good director and creative, but that's just a ridiculous idea, you know? Yeah, no. You need a Nerf burger or a Bantha steak? That's actually not terrible ideas. Not like selling actual food, but like fake food from Star Wars. Like some Death Stick merch. Oh, we should get some Death Stick merch. Would you guys buy Death Stick merch? Oh, Death Stick merch. Sounds sick. Jay says 100%, Mike. All right, well then we'll have to get that. We'll have to get that going. How many of you guys would become members if it was only 99 cents? Let's put it that way. It's $5 is too much. 99 cents. Crate Dragon Nuggets. Crate Dragon Nuggets. That's actually hilarious. I actually like that idea. Yeah, Death Stick merch. That would be kind of sick. That'd be kind of sick. That would be kind of sick. You want to go home and rethink your life. Probably what, Jay? I don't know what you're talking about. This poll, by the way, says, are you going to watch the Rey movie? 68% of you say yes. I'm surprised by that. Possibly when I start getting paid. There you go, Cappy. Can't find 99 cents in your couch cushion or something? Is there any other Star Wars news going on? Oh my God, we've gone for 2 hours? How did these live streams literally just fly by like this? Like literally. What? I literally thought I just turned and said we've been live for 27 minutes. That was an hour and a half ago? Jesus Christ. Friggin says, I mean, give me a good trailer for the Rey movie and then I'm there. Yeah, we do have to at least, we would have to kind of see what the Rey movie's all about first before kind of a lot of people would want to go see it. Ian says, value yourself properly and charge $2.99 at least. Well, there would be 3 different tiers. So it's how much you want to support. And of course, each tier would give you the ability to do different things. I think all tiers would give you the ability to be entered into the giveaways, which I think makes sense. I think the 5 and 10 would give you access to the Discord. I think the 5 and 10 would give you a bigger discount on the store than the 99 cent one would be. So it'd be like 10% and then the other one's 20% or something like that. Yeah, stuff like that for sure. There would be differences with the levels. So it would be valuing myself properly by just having different stuff with each level, you know? I want you guys to be able to support the channel, and if you don't have enough loot, yeah, that's fine. Especially the giveaways. I want you guys all to be in on the giveaways because we're going to do a lot of cool, fun giveaways. Smaller giveaways, but cool giveaways as well. Yeah. Let me end this poll. Let's see where it ended at. Let's see if the math is mathin' tonight. Let's see if that math is mathin'. That's a good idea. Thanks, Ian. I'm full of them. I'm just getting started. Why? Where did this poll go? Why is it not showing up? I ended the poll, but it ain't here. What happened to this poll? Okay, it's over there for some reason. 68% of you said yes, you will go see the Rey movie, to 31% of you saying no, which does not math the math. But what's funny is if the math did math, it would say 69% of you would be yes. For some reason, oh, there we go. Finally got it. Just had to refresh my page. All right. I'm one of the weirdos who loves Rey. Ian, you're a weirdo. But just kidding. No, there's a lot of people who like Rey. For sure, there's a lot of people who like Rey. I honestly don't hate her character. I think just what they did with her character, pulling her back and forth from who is she? She's a nobody. She's a somebody. She's a Palpatine. She's a Skywalker. She's a blah, blah, blah. That was just a little bit too much for me. But I think moving forward, if they can do something cool with her character, I'll be looking forward to it for sure. All right, anything else you guys want to talk about? Is there anything else going on in the Star Wars realm that you guys want to talk about before we get on out of here? She was just poorly executed. She had potential. Yes, very well put, Cappy. She was extremely poorly executed, but she had potential. In that Force Awakens, she had a lot of potential. Cole says, I don't hate Rey. I'd want to see her movie before passing judgment. Yeah, 100%. And I actually think the hype for the movie would be pretty big, just a lot of hate as well. It would be hype versus hate. That would kind of be the whole, pretty much marketing plan for the whole movie. Catspaw says, hashtag bring back Ben Solo. That video will hopefully come out tomorrow, Catspaw. If not, it'll be Monday, but I'm really hoping it'll come out tomorrow. Yeah. So that video about bringing back Ben Solo via Anakin Skywalker, watch out for that. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. That'll be very, very cool. Very, very cool. Friggin says, hype versus hate is basically the state of Star Wars right now. It kind of is, and just like as the channel starts to grow, and we just hit 2,800 subscribers the other day, which was incredible. Thank you to all of you guys. 2,800 is insane. Absolutely insane. But we're at 20,000 followers on Instagram, which is even crazier. But the hate is beginning to grow. And all this channel has been about is positivity and stuff like that. And there is room for hate, of course. There's room for critical analysis more than hate, I would say. If you don't like something, talking about it in a civilized way is kind of the way we go about it here. But there's been a lot of hate kind of brewing around the channel and around the Instagram page. So I kind of ignore it, but sometimes I give it the light of day, and I always regret giving it the light of day. So I just kind of ignore it. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see for sure. Ian says, I don't know. I wasn't keen on Emo Ren. You didn't like Ben Solo? Interesting. Catspaw says, they just made Rey stronger than Luke too fast. That's true. Rey needed to go through some trials and tribulations before she was just handed all of this power. That's for sure. Yes, I agree with that. I think she needed to go through some more... I get that she went through some turmoil, but she should have lost that battle to Kylo in Force Awakens, or even if she won the battle, she should have like lost a limb or something. It would have been pretty poetic if she lost an arm, but like even a leg or something. Like I don't know, something, an ear. Who cares? She should have lost something in return. Instead, Finn gets sliced down the back, which was kind of cool, but he never kind of really recovers from that. He just continues to scream Rey the rest of the trilogy, and yeah. But Rey should have gone through some more stuff before she was already stronger than Luke. I agree with that. Smash the like, you freaking nerf herders. How many likes we got on this video? I haven't even checked. We only got 15. Okay, that just didn't update. Yeah, smash the like if you haven't liked this video. Like, what the hell are you waiting for? Thanks, friggins. Cat's Paw says, I think if they had better Star Wars stories fans wanted and liked, there would be less hate. Well, that's true, of course. If there was everything that everybody liked, then there would be less hate. But let's be honest. As soon as A New Hope came out, and people loved that. Even when Empire Strikes Back came out, the second movie, people weren't so keen on Vader being Luke's father, and people weren't even so keen on the movie itself. A lot of people didn't like the Ewoks in the third movie, and then come to the prequel trilogy, a lot of people hated the prequel trilogy that loved the original trilogy. Now the prequels are a lot more loved. But since the beginning of time, Star Wars fans have been very divisive and argued about everything, so it's never going to change. Just Disney gives them a lot of ammunition. Let's put it that way. Gives them a lot of ammunition. For sure. So that's kind of where we're at on that. But yeah. So yeah, I think no reboot, because Matthew Vaughn is not nearly big enough to get his way with that, and just even Kathleen Kennedy herself saying that there's no reboot is a good sign, and of course there's just no logical way for that to make sense. Like Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, and Han Solo being played by Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, whose birthday is today. Again, I said it at the beginning of the stream, but happy birthday, Carrie Fisher. May she rest in peace. And Mark Hamill are iconic actors and characters as those characters. So they should never be changed. They should definitely never be rebooted, because that would be a disaster. Disaster. Yeah. Yeah. Ian says, In my head, the power ranking goes Anakin, then Luke, then Leia, then Sheev, Palpatine, then Yoda, although Yoda drew with Sheev. He came to a draw with Sheev when the dark side was at its height. So Rey's not on your power ranking? So it goes Anakin, then Luke, then Leia, then Sheev, then Yoda? Interesting. I don't know if Leia was that powerful. Honestly, I wish she was that powerful. I was hoping she would be more powerful in the sequel trilogy, but she wasn't, which is a bummer. Revenge of the Sith is still my favorite of the prequel trilogy. Oh, it's definitely my favorite. 100%. Sam says, hey man, I didn't know you streamed. Nice to see it. Oh, thanks, Sam. I didn't know you didn't watch my streams. What the fuck? Just kidding. Much love. Much love. Friggin says, I hate the hate towards the bad writing. The hate is towards the bad writing. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't know a good Star Wars script from a bad one. Yes. I guess. I don't know. It's hard to tell because I think Kathleen Kennedy makes the mistakes when it comes to behind the scenes. Being the producer that she's so known for being is when she makes the mistakes. I don't know if it's her reading a script and thinking it's good when it's bad. I don't know if that's the mistake, you know? I don't think that's what's going on. Anthony says, way too fast. What was way too fast? Oh, becoming more powerful than Rey. Rey becoming more powerful than Luke was way too fast. Insanely too fast. Especially now that we have Sabine to look as opposed to Rey's opposite of Rey's development. Sabine trained for at least a couple of years with 3 different Force users. Yeah, it's funny to me how people complain that Sabine uses the Force, but those same people don't complain that Rey is able to use the Force. Yeah. Sam says, if Anakin was there to teach Luke and Leia, they would have been above him power-wise. Yes, I think his children definitely would have been more powerful than him. I still think Luke became more powerful than him, but we just haven't seen that yet. I still think we should get this whole Luke's Jedi Temple show. I think it's a must-have because we need to see Ben Solo's fall to the dark side and stuff like that, but yeah, we'll see. Sam follows up and says, Uncle Obi-Wan too. Oh, they'd be more powerful than Uncle Obi-Wan? Oh, for sure. Yeah. Anakin was more powerful than Obi-Wan. Anakin doesn't lose to Obi-Wan on Mustafar because he's less powerful. He loses because he's going through it. Ian says, controversial, but is it KK or the Disney execs interfering? It's a little bit of both. It's 100% both. Yeah. It's not just KK. It's definitely not just KK. There are some Disney execs kind of interfering. Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, all that. But when it comes down to it, it's the CEO of the company named Kathleen Kennedy. Not the company Disney, but the company Lucasfilm. So she has kind of the last say when it comes to most of the stuff. A lot of it does go through Disney execs, but they don't really have the last say, per se. You know? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's definitely both, yeah. Agree. At least Sabine had some training. Oh, she had tons of training. And that's what still blows my mind that people don't understand how she can possibly... It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. But yes, it is bonkers. But we have been going for 2 hours tonight, and I do have to go work on that video, ladies and gentlemen. But I will get on out of here in just a minute. So if you have anything else you want to say for tonight's stream, of course, we go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So if you want to come in those streams as well, we have a blast here. Hopefully the live streams this week, I'm pretty sure can be at a normal hour. I did the later streams this week at 8 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday, and a lot of people couldn't make it and were like, Mike, do them earlier. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. But yeah, we'll figure it out, yeah. Sam says, surely they have to bring out Luke to fight Thrawn and his little remnant coalition. It's fanboy servicey AF, but still, it's not fan service though, Sam. Like, it's fan service in a way, if you like think of it that way, but it's not, because Luke Skywalker is one of the main heroes of the galaxy right now, and if Thrawn is coming in and he is this big threat that he's made out to be, if he's supposed to be the heir to the Empire, then Luke Skywalker should be involved in that. He should be the head of the frickin' army combating Thrawn and his army. It should be Luke, Leia, and Han in the front lines, followed by Hera, Ezra, Chopper, and them, because Sabine and Ahsoka took the sidelines for this one on Peridia. I think Luke should definitely be involved, and it won't be fan service. Anthony says, He says, not that. He says, plus, she may never be as powerful as the likes of Ahsoka, Grogu, Ezra, Luke, Leia, and Cal. You're talking about Rey? I don't know. The whole dyad in the Force thing seems pretty powerful. Sabine trained for years. Oh, you're talking about Sabine. Okay. Sabine trained for years, even before Ahsoka. Yeah, she trained with Kanan, and then she trained by herself. Then she trained with Ahsoka. She's literally the descendant of the only Mandalorian Jedi ever, Tar Vizsla. She just had to get that whole Mandalorian-ness off her shoulder, you know? It's just all that had to happen, you know? Sam says, cheap fan service gets confused with good Star Wars, I think. That it's not fan service. Wait, sorry. Not that non-fan service Star Wars isn't good. Whew, that just rattled my brain, Sam. Hang on. Cheap fan service gets confused with good Star Wars, I think. Not that non-fan service Star Wars isn't good. Okay, so non-fan service Star Wars isn't not good. But fan service Star Wars is not good. That made sense, right? Yeah, I thought so. That's what I thought. Made perfect sense the first time. No way Luke is not in this. He's way too important for the story. Agree with that. Cat's Paw says, it's going to be interesting as to where Sabine's power is going. I hope she eventually helps the Mandalorians become great again. Yeah, I don't know if they'll ever make it back to this galaxy, honestly. It seems like Ahsoka's kind of setting up camp in this other galaxy. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Ian says, we don't know the relationship between the Jedi and the Republic at this point. I think Luke may have learned not to get involved with politics or war. Maybe not war, but the New Republic doesn't want to get involved in war either. I think he definitely doesn't want to get involved in politics, that's for sure. But even Leia. Leia's involved in the politics. She is like the defense head or whatever. Chief of State, I think, is her position. But eventually they find out that her dad is Vader and she gets kicked out. So at some point, like, the New Republic isn't the answer. And it's not the answer right now because they're not even scared of Thrawn. Even though Harrison Dula is like, he's coming. Pause. Friggin says, Clan Ren is House Vizsla. True. Sam says, like, Luke wants to be like a general in the army fighting Thrawn. Army positions clearly took the toll on the Jedi. That's true, and he probably doesn't want to do what the Jedi did before, being a general in an army. But when there's this big threat coming to the galaxy, in the heir to the Empire, literally the Empire that he took down with the help of his father, taking down the Emperor and getting rid of the Empire, taking back the entire galaxy. If something threatens that, something so big as Thrawn and an army of Night Sisters and whoever, then I think Luke will come back to help out, for sure. Yeah. Not as a general, but he'll help out. Anthony says, oh, absolutely, I think she will return to Mandalore. Sabine, he's saying. She'll be a unique presence. I also believe Peridia has amped up her access to the Force. When she leaves the planet, who knows? Interesting. Darth Revan says, the dyad thing was interesting to me, so I was surprised when I learned that a lot of people didn't like it. I like the dyad thing. The only problem with the dyad thing is they threw it in there last second to fix the holes of the last two movies. That's what they did. That's why the dyad thing isn't really beloved by most fans, because the dyad thing, as it were, the Rey and Kylo being a dyad, the whole point of the rule of two, trying to find the dyad in the Force, is a cool concept. The only problem with it is they threw it out there to fill all the holes that were the sequel trilogy in the last kind of push to fix it all, to tie it all together. And it's a good idea in concept, but the way it was executed is what people or what fans don't really like about it. I do like the dyad thing, but it's just not there, you know. I feel like they underused it, though, because they could have explained why. Well, yeah, they underused it because they didn't even know it was a thing, because they didn't create the thing until the last movie. Yeah. Rey was so OP against Kylo by saying something like one of them can't defeat the other, and when one starts to get stronger, then they sort of trade powers. It would make sense since balance is a big theme in Star Wars. Yeah, it totally makes sense. Like when you look back at the sequel trilogy and you look at the dyad and the Force, It makes sense. The reason that Ben and Rey are connected, the reason that they can have that conversation in The Last Jedi, all of that now makes sense because of the dyad, which is explained in the last movie. But the problem that is there is that that was not the plan. That was not the plan in the first place. So now it makes sense, but at the time it didn't make sense. So I do like the idea of the dyad, and it's cool, and it makes up for what happens kind of in a way. Why Ben and Rey are so connected, because they are the dyad in the Force, because they are a Palpatine and a Skywalker, and that connection. It makes sense, and it fills a lot of holes. But the problem that people have with it is it was an escape hatch. It was the last ditch effort, you know? Explained is a loose term. Yes, exactly. It didn't explain the things, but it covered them with duct tape. It was Flex Seal. The dyad of the Force was Flex Seal. That's the best way I can describe it. Yeah. I really hope we learn what it actually means one day. I think you will. I think that's not the last time you see the dyad of the Force be brought up in Star Wars, for sure. It is a cool concept. Personally, I would have preferred the idea of the dyad being between Anakin and Grogu. Well, that would have been crazy. But I get that they were born kind of close to the same time. Yeah, no, 100%. Sam says, we already know that Disney execs will want to stuff Mando and Grogu in there somewhere. Oh yeah, they definitely want to throw Grogu wherever they can, for sure. I do not mind the dyad, but the story was just convoluted? Sure. Yes, 100%. I don't know. I had a similar idea with Revan and Bastila. Well, that's what people have been going back to. They think that Revan and Bastila could have been the dyad of the Force as well. Like maybe there's not just one dyad in the Force. Maybe it's something that comes up every thousands of years or something. And maybe Revan and Bastila could have been a dyad, you know? Sam says, I'm not against Mando and Grogu, but I feel like they're going to be rushed or forced into something somehow. I agree with that. I think if you try to force Grogu or Mando down a path that they shouldn't too quickly and not let their stories just develop the way that they should, then yeah, you're gonna have an issue. And you're definitely not wrong, Sam. Because look at season 3. Grogu gets pushed so quickly back to Din Djarin in a different show. Now, I don't have a problem with that, with Grogu and Din getting back together in the Book of Boba Fett, because I loved the episode with Luke training Grogu in the Book of Boba Fett, so it makes sense to me. But for people who didn't watch Book of Boba Fett, or were like, oh, Mando season 2, they get separated. Mando season 3, they're still going to be separated, and then Mando season 3 comes around and they're not separated. I get the issue, but it was probably just because they wanted to sell more Grogu toys. Because look down, he's on your shirt right now. I'm not wearing a Grogu shirt today. I'm wearing a Boba Fett shirt. Boba Fett. Yeah. Revan and Bastila were a dyad, but was it actually explained that they were? I don't think so. Maybe in a canon, that's the thing. When we go to the Old Republic, if Revan and Bastila are done correctly, let's put it that way first. If they're done correctly, and they're a dyad, that makes the sequel trilogy better. So now you're talking about things that take place thousands of years before the sequel trilogy that can help the sequel trilogy be better. That's cool. That's why Star Wars is always going to kind of be interconnected, you know? That's cool. That is cool. Jason Solo and Jaina Solo, a dyad too. They're Legends characters, so I don't know. Not technically. Ben had so much potential for future stories. Oh yeah, he did, and that's why I want to bring him back. That's why this whole video is going to come out tomorrow. Yeah. Skeleton Crew, then the Bad Batch. Oh, sorry. Friggin says, do we know what Star Wars content is coming next? Skeleton Crew, Bad Batch. So yeah, Skeleton Crew is supposed to be next. And that will come out hopefully in January. Start in January at least. And then it looks like probably Bad Batch, then Acolyte, I would guess. But I'm not too sure. Either Acolyte, then Bad Batch, or Bad Batch, then Acolyte, then Tales of the Jedi, then Andor Season 2. And that's your 2024 for Star Wars. And at some point in there, Star Wars Outlaws comes out. But the next thing for Star Wars is the Minecraft DLC that we talked about on Tuesday. That's November 7th. Yeah. It's very much possible, yet it's not in canon, since the only one canon out of those is Revan for now. But the dyad being a thing in canon does have hope that that is en route. Yeah, I really hope we go to the Old Republic, and I hope we get that Revan and Bastila connection in canon, and it's considered to be a dyad, or it's physically said to be a dyad. Cole, read it. What's up, Cole says, unfortunately, or Cole, you were already here. I don't know why I said what's up, Cole. What's up, Cole? Unfortunately, Kylo and Rey kind of felt like the filled the Jaina and Jason arc. Well, yeah, they were kind of the live-action canon versions of those characters, in a way. Just not brother and sister. Revan says, am I the only one who thinks Mando's gonna die at some point in the future? Because there's not much you can do with him in a post-sequel world. No. I think the Mando movie, hopefully it's a trilogy, but I think the Mando movie will see Din Djarin die. Yeah, for sure. I think you'll see Din Djarin die in that movie. It'll be some crazy epic death, kind of like Tony Stark, almost. Tony Stark's death in Endgame, something like that. It'll be like the Endgame for Mando anyway, so it'll be like him dying. So I think Din Djarin will die, and I think that will have a big effect on Grogu's future. Maybe even turn Grogu to the dark side. I mean, dark side Grogu, like a dark side Yoda would be sick. So I don't know. He already has the dark side sort of tendencies. He force chokes Cara Dune in season 1. Like and if his literal dad dies, or not literal dad, but his dad dies, Din Djarin dies, he might go down a dark path. He might go down a dark path for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Where was I? Shit. Damn it. Oh, Sam says, I have Grogu on a shelf above me, and I'm not even a great fan. Oh, yeah, the Grogu merch works. Oh, Grogu merch works 100%. I have like 4 different shirts that have Grogu on them. Do I have Oh, I got a Dark Trooper holding Grogu. Pop figure right there. I guess that's it for Grogu stuff behind me, but that's okay. Yeah, Grogu's everywhere. Darth Revan says, I kind of like the idea of him training a successor to kind of take over the form of the new Mando main character post-sequels. Did Djarin train a successor? That's not a terrible idea. I mean, you still have other Mandalorians. I think Bo-Katan will probably die too. She's supposed to be a lot older, her character-wise. Older than Din Djarin, at least. So, yeah, we'll see. How are you feeling about the Lando movie? That's a good question, Sam. Honestly, don't really care. But when it comes to the Lando movie, I just hope it explores the underworld more. Because the Solo movie did that very well, I think. Having the Crimson Dawn involved with Maul, of course. But even having other underworld things going down, I think getting into the huts and stuff like that would be cool. I don't know. The Lando movie, it needs to impress me. It needs to impress me for sure. Because it doesn't have that much hype around it at all. There was a time when I was posting videos and they were doing extremely well, and this was when the Ahsoka show was coming out, and it was just going boom, 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 like thousands of views on videos, which is insane for this small-ass channel that we have right here. Amazing community, but we're a small community. It was tons of views, tons of cool videos, and then I did a Lando movie video, and it got like no views. And I was like, okay, that's where the fandom's at with that. So it doesn't seem like the hype is there for most people, Sam, but I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Skeleton Crew is in the new galaxy. I don't know yet because the description of it. Should we pull up the description of Skeleton Crew? Let's do it. Why not? I was gonna get on out of here, but you guys want me to stay, and I want to stay too. So fuck it. Let's just keep going. Let's just go forever. Shout out to Diamond Figs again. Huge shout out to Will Diamond Figs. If you guys don't follow Diamond Figs, go give him a follow. We are doing a collab stream in just a few weeks here on October 29th. So watch out for that. That'll be a lot of fun. So watch out for that. Here we go. Yep, found it. So this came out with the news about Skeleton Crew and why people think it's going to release in January of 2024 because of some copyright things. So this was the description that was given. So we gained a new summary for the first episode, is what it says. So in the first episode of Skeleton Crew, we are introduced to 4 kids who make a mysterious discovery on their seemingly safe home world and get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy. That's the description. So they get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy. Now, that doesn't mean that they're getting lost in a new galaxy or the Peridia galaxy. That means that they could just be getting lost in the galaxy because it's a strange and dangerous galaxy that the Star Wars galaxy has. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it could be a new galaxy, but it could be. It also could be. What I like from this description actually is it's 4 kids who make a mysterious discovery on a seemingly safe home planet, meaning they make the discovery on their home world. And they think they're safe, but the discovery that they find jets them off into the galaxy on this strange, dangerous adventure. I like the Skeleton Crew, dude. Just the mystery around it. Just the mystery going around about it. It gets me excited. It gets me excited. But it actually goes on and says, finding their way home, meeting unlikely allies and enemies, the allies probably being Jude Law's character, enemies are like pirates and stuff, will be a greater adventure than they ever imagined, which is cool. Very, very cool. So, Skeleton Crew I look forward to, but yeah, we don't know if it's in a new galaxy or not. Cat's Paw says, Screen Rant had a theory on Revan and Bastila Dyad once, and that made sense. It does make sense, but it's just not in canon yet, you know? Mando will die to save Grogu. I think he will. Yeah, probably saving Grogu, most likely saving Grogu. But that might, that could put a toll on the little Grogu. Revan says, you think they're going to go Old Republic after Abeloth or at the same time? Because we know that they're going for Thrawn first, and would both at the same time work because they're both so big. It might be better to focus on one at a time. The dark side Grogu would be sick too. Yeah, one at a time sounds cool, but honestly, we're going all over the place right now anyway. You got Kenobi, which is in between prequels and originals. You got Andor, which is same. You got Rebels, which is same. Rogue One, which is same. And then and Bad Batch, which is the same. And then you have in between originals and sequels, which is Mando, Ahsoka, Boba Fett. Now you're having a Rey movie, which is post-sequels. So you're all over the place already. Just add on. Just keep going. Fans who are fans will understand what's going on. And even normie fans, with the opening scrolls, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. I mean, a movie they just announced was the Dawn of the Jedi movie. So we're going 25,000 years before everything. So we're going all the way back anyway. So we're going to be going all the way back while also getting a Lando movie, while also getting a Rey movie, while also getting a Mando movie. So we'll be all over the place anyway. So just go for it all. Just go for it all. Yeah. Anthony says, supposedly the 4 kids are accidentally lost in the unknown regions, encountering a collection of heroes, villains, and anti-heroes, and new threats and revelations. They might discover Thrawn. That would be cool if they discovered Thrawn. Yeah. Yeah. Jay says, have you seen the new pop figures for Ahsoka? I have, and they are pretty cool. Maybe we'll do a giveaway for them. Cole says, group poll, the Chimera put of the sky after Mando's death, ending heir to the Empire. Oh, polls into the sky? What? Group poll. The Chimera put of the... Cole, you lost me. You lost me, Cole. You lost me. Brandon says, do you think Lando's show will be about his daughter's adventures before the original trilogy with both Billy D. Williams and Donald Glover as Lando? His young adventures. I don't know where I got daughter from, but yes, that's what I definitely think it will be. It'll be him probably going on adventures, but then it might actually give him the beginning of his taking over of Cloud City, you know? Cole says Grogu, lol, stupid autocorrect. Let me try and reread that. Oh, Grogu pulls the Chimera out of the sky after Mando's death and heir to the Empire. Oh, that would be insane. Grogu pulls the Chimera out of the sky like Starkiller. Whew. Oh my God. That'd be insane. Honestly, now, if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be extremely disappointed, and I blame you, Cole. I blame you. Do you think the Lando show will be about... Oh, I just read that. Sorry, Brandon. Yes, I do think it will be about his young adventures, for sure. And it's probably going to be a movie, actually. Bo-Katan dying is tricky because then we run into the same problem of not having a Mandalorian ruler. Grogu. Sam says, I don't know how realistic it is, but I want to see crime boss Maul versus a real villain. It's not very realistic to see that because we know, of course, about Maul's death, and we have gotten a lot of like his reign as Crimson Dawn head without seeing him, you know? So I doubt you'll see that, but it would be cool. Definitely be cool. Ian says, Dawn of the Jedi is what I'm most interested in, but I really love all the Force stuff. Yeah, I'm very interested in Dawn of the Jedi. Very, very interested. I still hope they keep James Mangold even after Indiana Jones 5. I think he's still an incredible director. Indiana Jones 5 was not his fault at all, and I can't wait to see it. Yeah. Maul hopefully will be a villain in Outlaws. That would be insane. No, he can't be. He can't be. Damn it. Cole, getting me hyped up again. He can't be. He can't be, sadly, because Outlaws takes place, Star Wars Outlaws takes place in between episode 5 and 6. And he's dead. Maul dies before the original trilogy. Yeah. Revan says, unless they go the route of Mandalore switching to an elective government, which would be interesting since it is so different, but I don't know if they want, if I want that for Mandalore. Well, they'll probably keep a good a leader, but it will probably be Grogu. Now, maybe he's too young, maybe. But maybe they will go to this new government because, let's be honest, the Mandalorians were at a civil war for like thousands of years, so maybe they'll have to switch things up, yeah. Yeah. Maybe Bo-Katan's death will open the door for Sabine to take over. There you go, Sabine could be the new ruler. Yeah. Oh, I thought the game was earlier. What game? Outlaws? Outlaws is supposed to come out sometime next year, yeah. I don't know. Sabine would be a good leader. Right-hand man, maybe. Oh, I don't think Sabine would be a good leader. Right-hand man. Maybe she'll become a good leader. You know, go on like a cool story arc. Yeah. They would definitely have to develop her more beforehand, yeah. I don't think there's enough time of a story of Sabine to mature to that level in time, but anything's possible. There could be a lot of story to tell. A Mando Season 4, and what if this whole movie is a trilogy? Please make it a trilogy. If you could do anything right, Star Wars, make this a trilogy. For God's sakes, Heir to the Empire and Legends is a trilogy. Trilogies work a lot better. Give Dave Filoni a trilogy, because everybody would love it, and you can make it really, really good with cliffhangers and awesome, cool stuff. Like, what if Din Djarin dies at the end of the second one of the trilogy? Or Bo-Katan dies at the end of the first one? I don't know. Come on. Or they all lose at the end of the first one? I don't know. Make it a trilogy. Find out. Josh Revan says the Lando show or movie would explain who Janna's mother is. That's true. Yes. The girl from Rise of Skywalker? That's true. Because Lando has a daughter and she goes missing. And that's actually, I do it every fucking stream. The Shadow of the Sith book is that's a big part of the story, is Lando's trying to find the little girl. And the little girl is actually Rey, but he's trying to find this little girl because he's looking for his own daughter. So that's the whole thing. But yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm going to get on out of here. We've been going for 2.5 hours. That was a half hour. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. That's crazy. So watch out for this new 2 more tiers, a $10 tier if you really want to support the channel and really love me for some reason and want to give me $10 a month. Would be insane. Would be very generous and support the channel in a big, big way. But there's also going to still be that $5 tier for those of you who are on that tier. If you want to change, I'm sure you can. Whatever it is. And then a $99 or $1 tier that will give you less, but it will still give you the ability to support the channel as a member and get instant access to those giveaways, which will be cool as well. Watch out for this video tomorrow about Anakin Skywalker saving Ben Solo. Let me catch up on these chats before we get on out of here, though. Sam, again, thanks for coming to the live stream, and we do go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so come by those. Says, there's always been the case of making sure that the actors, Pedro Pascal, etc., actually want to make these movies. That's true, too. Pedro Pascal has kind of seemed a little off when it comes to The Mandalorian, and we have heard the rumors of stuff maybe going on behind the scenes, but we'll see. Ian says, I don't know. Everyone hated it when they killed everyone off in the sequels. That's true. I'm not saying they'd lose by killing everybody off. I'm saying they could lose to Thrawn by, like, losing Coruscant. Like, what if the first movie of the Heir to the Empire trilogy, first movie, ends with Thrawn taking over Coruscant, and the good guys have to retreat off of their literal capital planet of Coruscant. They have to retreat off of it. like Leia and Mon Mothma and all of them, they have to retreat off the planet because Thrawn took it over. And that would be them losing, of course. But they wouldn't have to die. Yeah. Yeah. Darth Revan says, I forgot Lando even had a book. Well, it's not a Lando book specifically. I'm pulling it out. I do it every stream. It should be, honestly, like, should be a thing I just do every stream now. This book, the Shadow of the Sith, it's supposed to be focused mostly on Luke, but Lando is a main character in the book. I should just leave it out here. Honestly, I'm gonna pull it out next stream, aren't I? Yeah, I'll just put it over here because it's a good book, guys. It's a good book. Cat's Paw says, I think time is going to run differently on Peridia, where there possibly will be a World Between Worlds portal where you can find and go backwards or forwards in time. I don't think that's how the World Between Worlds works, you know? Have a great night. Thanks, you too, Cole. Sam says, it's been great, man. Look forward to your future stuff. Thanks, Sam. $10 for something wholesome? That'll be new. What does that mean, Ian? Something wholesome? That'll be new? I'm confused. See you, Mike. Great stream as always. Where's that freaking button? Thanks, Cole. Runiza? What's up? How we doing? Says, if only the sequels. Oh, you mean to reboot them? Yeah. I think if KK goes, Pedro Pascal will stay. Maybe. We'll see. Brandon says, Star Wars What If show would be interesting like Marvel. Like what if Qui-Gon never died on Naboo, or Clone Wars Order 65, aka arresting Palpatine. Yeah. What if would be very, very cool. But I think, like, we got to start doing what ifs again on this channel, guys. I'm sorry. We'll get back to it. So there's What If Fridays. I did for like 4 straight Fridays like a year ago. So I want to get back to those for sure. So we'll start talking about those as well. We'll start getting back to those since we're an off time, and we'll be able to do the what ifs here. So we'll do those what ifs, Brandon, on this channel so that you can get that what if show that you want, because Disney's never going to do that. Yeah. Do you guys want that? Do you want me to start doing some what ifs? You know? Yeah. Sam says, I'd rather see Tales of the Blank than a what if. I agree with that. Like Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Sith, Tales of the Bounty Hunters. Yeah, I definitely want that more. Yeah. We can do the what ifs here. Yeah. Yeah, you guys want to see what ifs? All right, we'll get back to those what ifs. And I think on Tuesday's stream then, we'll talk about what ifs to do. And then we'll come together and come up with the best what if to do. And then I'll do that what if. Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea. All right, I do have to get on out of here. 2.5 hours, an incredible stream again. I don't know how it goes this long. I don't understand it. I leave these streams, guys, and people are like, oh, what were you doing? And I was like, oh, I was just streaming for 2.5 hours. They're like, 2.5 hours? What were you talking about? I'm like, Star Wars. And they're like, what? They're like, how the hell do you talk about Star Wars for 2.5 hours? I'm like, I have this amazing chat, okay? And they talk to me, okay? And we have a fun time. Fan-made what-ifs would be better than Disney's. Yeah, probably. Probably. You're not wrong, Sam. All right, I am going to get on out of here. You guys are the absolute best. Smash a like on this video if you liked it. Hit subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And my pretty face will show up in the recommended feed of yours. If you are not already a member and you want to become a member but you don't have enough loot, there will be a new tier coming hopefully by next stream. Hopefully by Tuesday I can get that tier up and running. That will only be 99 cents. So get your wallets out, ladies and gentlemen. Find that change in the couch, ladies and gentlemen, because on Tuesday, you can finally fulfill your dreams and become a member of the people who love Star Wars and support your guy. Support your boy Mike over here because, you know, your boy Mike needs your support. Okay? Okay. 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 Have a great rest of your evening. Oh, shit, I don't say that now. And may the force be with you. Always, 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 always. Guys, where is that freaking button, okay? Like, you guys think this is a joke? Like, every day when I do a live stream, 3 times a week, this button, like, there's a button that I have to click so that it goes to this other screen, but it literally disappears every single time, and I can't find it. I swear, it's not even like a joke anymore. Like this button is pissing me off. Just kidding. Much love to you all. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Hope you have a great rest of your lives. And good night, everybody. Yeah, we're definitely getting an intro song and an outro song because I'm starting to lose my voice. And by the end of these 2.5 hour streams, me going, good night, everybody, is really killing my voice. And thanks, Ian. That made my night. You know, it was nice. It was nice. Ian, it was nice. Hey, good night, everybody. Yeah. I gotta really start working on it. Any musicians in the chat? I'm literally a musician myself, damn it. I've been playing piano for like 12, 13 years and play the guitar too. And like, I could make my own freaking intro song, but I'm too freaking lazy. Good night, everybody. You guys still here? Why are you guys still here? You guys like still here, just listening to me say good night, everybody? This is incredible. You guys really still here? This is wild. Are we just hanging out? Oh, we're here? Oh, good, cool. Okay. Gotta take a sip of my water. Hang on. 1 second. Good night, everybody. Cat's Paw says, don't feel like cooking now, so I think I'm going to order out. There you go, Cat's Paw. What are you going to order? Sick title screen. Thanks. Still here chilling? All right, let's just chill. Let's just take a second. Let's just chill. Yeah, let's just hang out. Let's just good night, everybody. Let's just hang out, guys. Let's just. Well, what is Cat's Paw ordering? What are we eating, guys? Are you guys eating something right now? You guys like just hanging out, like when, like. Doesn't seem like you want to go. I don't want to go, Sam. I don't want to go. Because if I go, I got to go work on this video, and I really want to work on this video, but at the same time, I'd rather just stay here and hang out with you guys. But like, you know, Italian. Ooh, Italian sounds bomb. Order food for the rest of us. I agree with that. I can get down with that. I want to do an intro and an outro song, guys. I'm too lazy to, though. I got to start these new, different tiers of the members, you know? But I'm too lazy to, guys. It's time to abandon ship. Is it? Huge shout out to all you members that came in tonight. Shout out to Cat's Paw. Shout out to Cole. Shout out to Raheem's World I saw earlier. Shout out to... Who else was here that was a member? I think that was all the members that were here today. But shout out to all you guys also for being amazing. Shout out to Sam for the newcomer. Shout out to Ian. Shout out to Darth Revan. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to General Grievous. Shout out to all of you. If I missed any of you, I apologize greatly. But you guys are the absolute best. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, a great rest of your lives, and I am truly going to leave this time because I got work to do. That video to work on, and I guess I got to make an intro and an outro song and these new tiers because you guys are the best, and I do it for you. Good night, everybody. Oh, that was creepy. Good night, everybody. All right, I'm actually leaving this time, I promise.